All right, everybody. I'm calling the meeting to order. It's great to see so many people here. Hope you've all had a good summer and that you're ready for your kids to go back to school. And if you're kids, I hope you're ready to get back to school. We're going to do a roll call next.
Certainly. Mayor Brook,
Here.
Commissioner Sarah,
Present.
Commissioner Simmons,
Here.
Commissioner McHugh, City Manager Givens. Here. City Attorney Hearn.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. If everybody would please rise and join us for a moment of silence for whomever might be in your hearts. Thank you all so much. We will next have the Pledge of Allegiance, so if you'll remain standing, and this will be led by our City of Coral Springs interns. Welcome, good morning. If you wouldn't mind, come to the mics. Yeah, give them a round of applause, for sure. Great, so if you'll turn and face the flag, and we're ready at the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you all. Appreciate you. Our next presentation recognition, Mayor Bogan's not here, so we're going right to number 2 for recognition of the Fire Department Rapid Intervention Team. So everybody come on down. Hey, good morning. How are you? Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. Chief, good to have you with us. Chief, you want to get us started?
I do. Thank you very much, Mayor, and I want to thank the commission and everybody for being here today. As you can see, we have the first 3 recognitions this morning, and of course, we're always very proud of everybody in our fire department, but we have 3 major awards to talk about today and to go over, and a lot of great people. But we're starting out with our RIT team, and for those of you that are unaware what our RIT team is, it's a rapid intervention team, and everybody in our department, pretty much everybody in the fire service, is trained in rapid intervention tactics. And what that means is there's simply a team that responds to other firefighters that are in peril or that are in emergency. This team, and we're lucky enough to have 2 RIT teams in our organization. They are the next level of that. These guys train almost daily when they're on duty, when they're off duty. They train to be the best that they can be and the best that we've ever seen, personally, I've ever seen, that are dedicated just to doing RIT. So when they do these competitions, they're competing against departments from all over the country in making rescues and pulling people out of perilous situations, such as firefighters that are trapped, firefighters that have collapse debris on them, wires, trapped in wires. They run out of air, they go unconscious. There's a million different things that can happen. These teams are prepared to act immediately to locate and get them out before they pass away. And we are very blessed to have the very best of all of them. So I'm very proud of you guys. I know how hard this is. Thank you very much for all the work that you do.
The first one, then I'm going to give Commissioner Sarah the second one. This is a special recognition for Captain Alex Del Castillo, 2026 Palm Beach State Invitational Rapid Intervention Team Competition Championship, first place. This is in recognition of your outstanding achievement and first place victory at the 2026 Palm Beach State Invitational Rapid Intervention Team Competition Championship. So we, the City Commission of Coral Springs, congratulate you, Captain Alex Del Castillo, on a job well done. Thank you. Where's Alex?
Are they all the same?
Read the names, and I'll read the next one, and then
All right, well, I'm going to have you, I'll take them.
you'll take them?
Yeah.
You got it. You want them all?
Yeah,
You got them all.
because they all read the same, so. I'm going to do roll call here, and I'm going to have you help with the names.
Principal Sarah.
Yes, because I don't ever butcher names as a principal.
Next up is firefighter Chase Calderaro. Next up, firefighter Bobby Becker. Not here. Okay. Captain Kevin O'Connell is also not with us today. He's probably working out somewhere. Lieutenant Austin Netkin. Firefighter Blake Kammerer. Lieutenant James Cooper. Driver Engineer Bailey Sullivan. And Captain Jason Valentine. J-Val. Firefighter Grant Stewart. I don't see Grant. No. That's it. Okay. Thank you guys very, very much. Thank you, Sean.
So, you know, I always like to hear from somebody on the team. So, Captain Jason, you want to share about your experience?
Sure. No, I'm just honored. You know, first of all, thank you for recognizing us. The amount of work that these guys put in, it makes you want to get better. It makes you want to train more. And, you know, me being one of the older guys in this group, it might have been my last competition, but I just surround myself with good people. They raise me up as much as I raise them up. So we work together. It's a brotherhood. And I'm just proud of these guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And on behalf of the commission and the entire city, we want to thank you all for your dedication, for your competitive spirit, and for your commitment to keep us all safe. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. All right, Chief, you ready to recognize the next people?
I am. This one is near and dear to me because every member of our organization we feel is a of the year, what we consider an of the year, meaning that they're all so good. And when we do our employee of the year, our civilian of the year, our firefighter of the year, et cetera, it's always difficult because we have so many great people in our organization, and we pride ourselves on our people. What we do each and every day out in the community, keeping everyone safe, along with our brothers and sisters in the police department and our dispatchers. They're all good at what they do, very good at what they do, and we pride ourselves in that. So choosing these people is extremely difficult, and we put a lot of effort into that. So I'm going to ask them to come on down. Our Fire Explorer of the Year, Peyton Moser. Our Fire Instructor of the Year, Carl Kellenberger. Wow, you brought a fan club, Carl. I like that. Our Civilian of the Year, Patty Walker. Our Supervisor of the Year, Captain Raul Tito Torres. And you might recognize this name, our firefighter of the year, Chase Calderaro. So very briefly, I'm going to just give a quick overview of why they're standing up here in front of us today and some of the things that they've done. Yes, shift this way. Come on over. Come on. All right. Okay. So we're going to start with our Fire Explorer of the Year. And some of you may recognize the name. It's sort of famous around here. Peyton Moser. Real quick, there's a lot to say about Peyton, but about her family and her legacy and her history in the city of Coral Springs. This goes way back before even her parents, her grandparents. They've been community leaders and part of the fabric of this community for several decades. Her father is Deputy Chief Mike Moser, who served almost 30 years with Coral Springs and now serves the city of Hollywood. More importantly, in my heart, her mother, Battalion Chief Sophia Moser, who's up here somewhere. Oh, there she is. Yep, she's going to also be recognized again. They're part of the fabric of this community, and we're very proud of them. But the next generation of Mosers are making their way up. So a little bit about Peyton. She has been a part of our Explorer program for the past 3 years and has consistently demonstrated outstanding leadership, dedication, and character. During her time with the program, Peyton has far exceeded expectations in meetings, training details, competitive preparation, and mentoring fellow explorers. Her positive attitude, strong work ethic, and willingness to help others have made her a valued leader and role model within the post. She's currently serving as captain of Post 273. Peyton has excelled in her leadership role and continually shares her knowledge of firefighting and EMS with her peers. Congratulations. Our next recipient is been a longtime friend of mine and started here just after I did. It's nearly 30 years ago, and has recently become a published author who we're very proud of. Yes, and I have his book. It is signed in my office if anybody would like to see it. Our fire instructor of the year is Carl Kellenberger. Carl exemplifies the qualities of an outstanding fire instructor through his dedication, professionalism, and commitment to student success. As a lead instructor for the night paramedic class, he consistently goes above and beyond to support students, both academically and personally, creating an environment where they feel encouraged, challenged, and supported. By bringing real-world experience in the classroom, he breaks down complex concepts with clarity, patience, and genuine passion for the profession, inspiring students to become confident, capable, and compassionate paramedics. Carl has been an instructor here for almost as long as he's worked here. He's worked in every aspect of our training division, including training outside organizations, testing other organizations, departments to promote within. He has been a true leader in our educational experience and the things that we do as part of our fire academy and our Regional Institute of Public Safety. So, Carl, congratulations, well deserved. Next is our Civilian of the Year, Patty Walker. A lot about Patty. Patty's awesome. Everything that you see us wearing, or from our boots to our tie to our hats and everything you see around here, is because of Patty. we get it. Without her, we wouldn't know what we'd be wearing half the time. Patty consistently exceeds expectations as a project support specialist through her dedication, flexibility, and very strong work ethic. She routinely goes above and beyond to ensure our firefighters are properly fitted and equipped, often accommodating last-minute requests, emergency needs, and walk-ins while managing gear and supply orders efficiently. In addition to supporting our firefighters, she provides exceptional service to the department members involved in special projects, including Fire Ops 101, which she outfitted all of the Coral Springs and Parkland commissioners with gear. In addition to her daily responsibilities, Patty reorganized the support services warehouse, improving efficiency, accountability, and also saving us a ton of money. So thank you, Patty. We appreciate that. Yeah. So congratulations, Patty. Next is our Supervisor of the Year, Captain Raul Tito Torres. Tito exemplifies what it means to be an outstanding supervisor, consistently going above and beyond his regular duties through his leadership, dedication, and commitment to others. Over the past year, his work in the training division has shown an exceptional knowledge, preparation, and passion for delivering high-quality fire and EMS training that directly benefits the entire department. Raul is constantly seeking ways to add value, leading both up and down the chain of command to drive meaningful progress and success. A true student of leadership, he actively pursues growth through reading, conversation, and reflection while sharing those lessons to elevate those around him. He is deeply invested in the development of others, mentoring new recruits, contributing significantly to the new hire program, and creating an environment where members feel supported and motivated to succeed. I'll tell you something about Tito. He doesn't give up easy. When he has his mind set on something that he knows is better for the betterment of the organization, better for the members, and things that are going to make us better at what we're doing, he's relentless at it. Even to me, as the fire chief, he will stay in my office until he gets his way, which is often hours. I give him his way to get out. Just get out. Tito is very, very good at what he does. He's very well respected in this organization. We're very proud of you. Congratulations, Tito. And last and certainly not least, our firefighter of the year, Chase Calderaro. Chase is one of those members of our organization that everybody loves. I have yet to meet anybody that doesn't have a good thing to say about Chase. He is a genuinely good person and has got a huge heart and loves to help others. I'll tell you a few little things about Chase. He's highly deserving of the Firefighter of the Year for his exceptional dedication, leadership, and impact over the department, not only over the past year, but since he started here and throughout his career. Serving in the training division, he demonstrated an unwavering commitment to delivering high-quality fire and EMS instruction while continuously seeking ways to strengthen the organization. As a leader and mentor, he sets high standards for himself and for those around him. He leads by example, fostering a culture of accountability, professionalism, and growth through constructive coaching and clear communication. His ability to connect with others and elevate those around him has made him a respected role model, with many people coming to me and asking and putting him in for the nomination for Firefighter of the Year. Some of the most I've ever seen. So well-deserved, and congratulations.
So on behalf of the commission, we just want to congratulate you for an excellent job, and thank you for keeping us safe, and thank you for your amazing leadership. We really appreciate you all. You ready for a picture? All right, let's do it.
Congratulations.
Now we're recognizing the 7 individuals who deployed to Venezuela for search and rescue efforts as part of USAR Florida Task Force 2. Come on up and be recognized. Please. Oh my God, so good to see you. How you doing? Thank you so much for doing that. God bless you. Great to see you. How are you?
All right, how are you? 251 Riverside Drive, 251 Riverside.
Congratulations. I'm doing great. How about you?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your service, buddy.
You're in the middle.
Mike, thank you so much. So I'm going to read the background and then have Commissioner Simmons read the certificate. It was easier to get them to go over there than to get in this line. All right, you guys did a good job. Oh, man, I'm so proud of you all. So on June 24 of this year, Venezuela was devastated by two powerful earthquakes measuring 7.2 and 7.5 magnitude, causing widespread destruction, claiming more than 5,200 lives, and prompting an international search and rescue response. More than 160 responders across South Florida deployed with Florida Task Force 2 to assist in rescue and recovery efforts. Among them were these 7 dedicated members of the Coral Springs Parkland Fire Department and the City of Coral Springs, whose courage, professionalism, and selfless service exemplify the very best of our profession. We really couldn't be prouder. So we're asking you to join us in recognizing these outstanding individuals for answering the call to serve for representing our department, our city, and our nation with honor. Please give them a big round of applause. So Commissioner Simmons, if you read the certificate, and then I'll let all the names be known.
All right, this is a special recognition for the Venezuela deployment team. In recognition of your service and presented in grateful appreciation for your deployment with Florida Task Force 2 in response to the devastating Venezuela earthquakes, your courage, professionalism, and selfless commitment to protecting lives reflect the highest ideals of the Coral Springs Parkland Fire Department, the City of Coral Springs, and the fire service profession. Signed by the entire commission dated August 5th, so please accept this token from us for your bravery and you being heroes. So I wish there was more we could give you other than just a paper, but please know love comes with this. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So, hopefully I get this right. From my left to my right, we have Oscar Gomez, Sophia Moser, Steve Fernandez. All right, Jeff Hamburger. Anthony Gonzalez. And Mike McNally. And we're missing Rich. Rich Zeno is on vacation. He deserves it. So would somebody like to share? No way, huh? Yeah, this is working.
Hello? There we go. I'll try to keep it very minimized on the New York language because you know how I can mumble some words. But anyway, first and foremost, I want to thank the city for the recognition, of course, and for the support. Without the support of cities, this team does not exist. So for that, I would take a moment just to thank you guys from the top down for the dedication and, like I said, commitment to the team. With that, I'll give you a brief overview of what it was. We were sent to Venezuela, obviously, on that day to find live victims. Myself, I'm a rescue team manager, rescue person. We all have specific responsibilities, safety and such and so forth. So the main mission was to go ahead and find live victims. We got there, we had a lot of challenges when we go other places because we only bring a certain amount of stuff over there with us. We have 9 pallets of equipment that we take with us, and then we have to sort that out, and then the mission begins. Actually, the mission begins when we land. But to keep it short, we get there, we had some intel. We started go ahead and reconning the area, which is reconnaissance, running around to try to find some people. We started digging, buildings moved, we were evacuated until we found the security guard. I don't know if anybody heard about it, but we did a historical rescue. That was a security guard that was trapped there since the collapse, and we ended up getting out. I want to say we spent 8 days underground, and we worked with several other teams, the Chilean, I want to say it was Mexico, Ecuador, a few other teams in Portugal, a few other teams that we worked together seamlessly to go ahead and perform and successfully rescue Hernan Gil from this particular building that we rescued. So. With that, that's just, and that's the very rewarding part about it. You know, it was a very devastating element, and I tell everybody it's a humbling and go back to devastating experience at the same time. It was a lot to take in. Probably all of our worst deployments that we had to experience, and we've been through some tough ones. So with that, if there's anything else, I, again, super appreciative, and thank you guys for the support.
So all of us here, we can only imagine your experience, and it really takes a lot of courage and bravery to do what you did. and we're happy to have you back home. So thank you, and keep up the good work. Appreciate you. No, I want to put you in the middle, though.
Oh, Jesus, I gotta stand next to you.
Yep, you got this one? Yeah. Want me to pass them out?
Yeah.
You got it.
If you don't mind, I'll read, I'm gonna read what we got. It's funny how life comes full circle, especially when you're in a career that you really enjoy going to and get the opportunity to meet so many dynamic people. And back in 2003, I met a family for the very first time that I had no idea when I met them they would have a profound impact not only on me personally, but our family. So I'd like to invite them up, and that is Ray and Diana Haneski with River. All right, let's get that stretch in. And before we brought this recognition, we did get clearance that we could have River, which is a very special treat, because I don't remember having a dog at a meeting.
She's more than a dog.
No more than a dog.
Great to recognize you. Thank you so much.
So I have some formal comments to make that we have prepared, but it's a tremendous honor to thank both of them for their service to Broward County Public Schools and to our city as residents and people that chose to not only live, work, and really enjoy Coral Springs. And River has been a tremendous part of this as well, especially in the last 8 years. So Diana dedicated 28 years as a library media specialist, earning the school's Library Media Center the designation of Florida Power Library School, a recipient of the I Love My Librarian Award from the American Library Association and the Carnegie Corporation. She holds National Board Certification in Library Media, along with advanced degrees in Library Studies and Communication. In the aftermath of February 14, 2018 tragedy, Diana and River became champions of mindfulness and healing, extending their mission to students and communities across Florida and beyond. True to her mantra, it's going to be a good day, and we are going to get a lot done. And that's how she started every conversation with her students and anyone that needed a space that's safe in her media center. Ray, her sidekick, has 27 years of dedicated service as a technology support specialist too, beginning as a volunteer in 1998 and becoming the founding tech specialist at West Glades Middle School in 2002. Over 2 decades there, he also coached boys soccer to multiple championships, launched the school's first volleyball program, and helped train many of Broward's current tech specialists. In 2023, he joined Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School for the one final chapter of his career, working alongside his wife, Diana, and their therapy dog, River. And now I'm going to go to River, who's on a break here. River is a mini Bernadoodle joined the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas family in 2018 and spent 7 years, yes, come on, give me your phone, as the school's beloved therapy dog, recently graduating with the class of 2025. Congratulations. She and her handlers are also members of Hope Animal Assisted Crisis Response, bringing comfort to the communities nationwide in times of tragedy. She retires with her priorities intact. She is now going to nap, enjoy belly rubs, and treats. So, with that said, please join me in congratulating and thanking Diana Haneski, Ray Haneski, and River Haneski for leaving an exceptional legacy at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School and beyond with a combined 62 years of dedicated service. Congratulations. You want to read it?
I love it. So we do have special recognition certificates for them. Diana, we'll start with you. Our City of Coral Springs recognizes your 28 years of exceptional service and dedication to the students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School as you embark on your new chapter of retirement. And we're proud to honor you and your many accomplishments, and we wish you our heartfelt gratitude and the best of health in the future from the entire City Commission. God bless you.
Thank you.
You can give her a round of applause. You're welcome, Diana. And separately for Ray, the City of Coral Springs recognizes your 27 years of exceptional service and dedication to the Broward County school community as you embark on your new chapter of retirement. And that's from the entire City Commission as well. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to follow Commissioner Sarah's footsteps. River, this is for you. So, River, the City of Coral Springs recognizes your 7 years of exceptional service, comfort, and joy brought to the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School community as you embark on your retirement. Thank you so much, River. This is for you. You're sweet.
Yes.
We're going to ask while Diana and Ray address the audience if there's anyone here with the Haneskis, and I know my wife Carrie is here, whose best friend is Diana. If you guys could come up and join us for the picture while they're speaking.
Thank you, everyone. It was a real honor. Hearing all of that is amazing. But it was lovely that we got to raise our sons here in Coral Springs, and that our children had you as a principal. That was amazing. And taking River to school was like bringing my baby to school every day, except she worked really hard. And the teachers and the students, the whole community really enjoyed having her. And I walked in every day grateful that I could give back after the horror that everyone went through. It was nice to be able to move forward and with love and kindness and bringing her every day. It was the families that kept us motivated to do that. It was hard to get there, to find joy every day after trauma, and I know many of you in this room know trauma. So it was very rewarding, and we are retired now, and we are grateful to be able to move on to do other things and still help. So we're gonna do Reading with River. When I can finally go back to the schools, we will do that. You wanna say anything, Ray?
36 years ago, we came to Coral Springs because it was a great place to raise kids, we heard, and it turned out it was. We went through the school system and everything. And, you know, we had a great time with athletics and everything that the city had to offer, so we really appreciate this. After 214, you know, everybody needed a way forward, even you, and River became our way forward and got us out, and now it's our joy to share her within the community and with hope in the event of any larger disasters or tragedies nationwide. So it's our pleasure to be able to share her.
You know what else is really cool? Being a teacher all those years and seeing all those kids, and you look at their faces when they're older and you're like, I think I know them. And that's how I feel when I see Chase Calderero, because everything you said about him, he was like that when he was little. And it's just so nice to see him recognized. And that's one of the beautiful things about being an educator. Thank you so much, Coral Springs. I love you.
And I think what's extra special is 62 years of dedicated service, and all your friends are at work now, and you can go out for lunch. So,
thank you.
we got to take a picture.
All right, this is a request from the City Commission to recognize Samuel Pawana. I hope I got the name right. Sam, I haven't seen you for a while. For his work as the operator of the Coral Springs Chick-fil-A. Great to see you. So I'm going to share some background on Sam and his devotion to the community besides being an entrepreneur in our community. With more than 40 years in the restaurant industry and 30 years with the Chick-fil-A, Sam has built a legacy of servant leadership, operational excellence, and unwavering commitment to people. Since 2007, he has proudly served our Coral Springs community, becoming a trusted leader who has invested nearly 2 decades in developing people, supporting many local organizations, and creating meaningful relationships throughout the city. Sometimes there's a little traffic at Chick-fil-A, but that's a good thing. Known for leading with humility, integrity, and compassion, Samuel believes that true success is measured by the lives that he impacts. He's passionate about mentoring team members, fostering a culture of teamwork and accountability, and creating an environment where people are encouraged to grow personally and professionally. Samuel's commitment to Coral Springs extends far beyond the restaurant. Through long-standing partnerships with our city, our police department, local schools, churches, nonprofit organizations, church ministries, he has consistently supported initiatives that strengthen the city and improve the lives of our residents. Sam, your dedication to serving others reflects Chick-fil-A's corporate purpose of having a positive influence on all who are served. Sam is driven by faith, he's got a heart for service, and a genuine love for people. You're our kind of guy. Samuel leads by example, embracing challenges, encouraging others, and inspiring those around him to pursue excellence. For nearly 2 decades, his steadfast commitment to the Coral Springs community and nearby communities, servant leadership, and developing future leaders has left a lasting impact. And this was requested by Commissioner Joe McHugh to thank you and recognize you for your outstanding service. Congratulations, Sam.
So this is a special recognition for Sam. Sam, honestly, it means a lot to me. You're not only a business owner in the city of Coral Springs, but I consider you a very good friend of mine. Before I read the recognition, Chris Swinson wanted me to pass along to you. Unfortunately, he's on vacation. He would love to be here and share the recognition with you. In recognition of your hard work, dedication to the Coral Springs Chick-fil-A branch, we thank you for your commitment. Chick-fil-A continues to be a Coral Springs staple, thanks to your work for 30 years. Therefore, we, The Coral Springs City Commission recognize you for your work as an operator of Coral Springs Chick-fil-A, signed by the entire commission. Thank you, Sam. Now you got to talk, buddy. You're not getting off that easy.
Thank you so much for the honor to serve the city of Coral Springs and the surroundings. I'm very humbled and very not enough to express my gratitude to be able to serve right here. Thank you so much I'm very honored.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Full of emotions.
Ed, you are next up for the last recognition, I believe. We're proclaiming Smart Irrigation Month. Say it again. Would you like the background?
Oftentimes on any construction project here in the city, at the very beginning, the first utility that gets disconnected is irrigation. When the project is completed, the last one to join the party is irrigation. They are a vital resource and utility to our city. When you guys are not working, it's very clear that the green things are not green. So if it wasn't for you, our great lawn would not be healthy, our medians would not be kept, and our parks would not be functional. Thank you guys for everything you do.
All right, this is a special proclamation for Smart Irrigation Month. Smart Irrigation Month promotes the environmental, economic, and social benefits of efficient irrigation systems, including reduced water waste, healthier landscapes, lower operation costs, and increased environmental resilience. Our irrigation team is behind the landscape and water maintenance that makes our city so beautiful and protects our resources. Therefore, we, the City Commission of Coral Springs, proclaim the month of July 2026 as Smart Irrigation Month and recognize the city's irrigation team for their dedication and outstanding work in ensuring the efficient use of our water sources, dated August 5th, 2026 by the entire commission. So thank you, Chairman.
Okay. All right, how's everybody doing?
All right.
Good, good. Before I go, I want to say, sorry about that. Just want to say we're very honored, blessed, and humbled to receive this award. We come in every day, we work hard. You know, we use our water conservation method to keep the city green. It's very important. Like Chad said, we're the last ones to always get called before CO happens or stuff is not working. Get complaints, we're the ones who get called. So kind of nervous up here right now, but I just want to introduce my team because without my team, I'm no better than they are. So to the left of me is Daniel. I have Will, Henry, Cheyenne, and Nick. And I want to bring up a special guest up here to sit with us. Juan, he worked with us for of the art program. Come on up, Juan. He worked with us for a couple days. He loved doing work with us, and it's honored that he's with us, so I want to keep him with the picture of us so everybody knows. I thank everybody, the commissioners, the city, the mayor, who I see sometimes playing racquetball at the gym. But thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Good job. You don't have to speak. All right, picture time. Okay, great. All right, great to see you. Thank you. Our last recognition is for our summer interns, and Kathy, you'll come up and lead. Stand up with us. Here you go, Kathy.
Good morning. Thank you, Mayor. Welcome, welcome, interns. So this year, you can go ahead and line up, Alyssa, Kylie. We welcome 21 extremely impressive young adults to the summer intern program this year, and they had great opportunity to work on meaningful projects. They did a group project together this year, built relationships. They had team building opportunities, and I think they've made some friendships they're going to take with them into the future. In addition to that, we're hoping that at some point in the future, they may come back for a career in public service. So it was a really meaningful summer, a hot one, and they worked all through it. So we want to thank you guys so much. And a big thank you to Kylie Esposito and Alyssa Steckler, who are our HR team that coordinates the program each year. So thank you very much for that. Awesome. Excellent. So what I'd like to do is shout out the interns that are here with us today. First, we have Jacob Piloto, who worked in the IT department. Raise your hand, Jacob. Congratulations. Thank you. Riley Davis, who worked with the communications and marketing department in the historical area. Riley, congratulations. Ryan Erblatt, who worked with the Center for the Arts this year. Hi, Ryan. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Sammy Zaruki, who worked with Public Works Engineering this year. Sammy, woo, congratulations.
I'm looking the wrong way. Thank you, Sammy.
Sanai DeRoches, who worked with the Center for the Arts this year. Sanai's right here. Brianna Prieto, who worked with the ARC Broward students through the Human Resources Department this year. Brianna, thank you so much. And we have a special guest with us, Juan, who also was one of our ARC Broward students this year. And I believe this is his either third or fourth year coming back to the city of Coral Springs because he loves us so much. We'll give you the mic, Juan, absolutely. Just a big thank you and congratulations to all of you and wishing you the absolute best in your futures and a possible career in public service. So thank you so very much. Great job.
All right, we'll let you speak and let everybody know your name again.
Okay, my name is Juan, and I was here for 3 weeks. 3 years, sorry. I got nervous. And I was here when I was like 5 years old. So this city is like my house and my place to be here. And also I was playing with soccer. Obviously. So like this is again very happy to be here and very excited, and I thank you for everything you guys did.
That's wonderful. Thank you. So on behalf of the city leaders and the city commission, we just want to thank you for devoting your time to our city. Sounds like it was a great experience, not just for you, but for all of us. And we'll hope you'll promote the internship program in the future. And God bless you and wish you a great future. Thank you so much.
Mayor, if you don't mind, can I list the names of the
Of
interns
course.
that are not here here this morning, just so that we give them mention. Thank you so much. So we have Amanda Keynes with Public Works, Jake Artiega with Public Works, Natalie Fernandez with Police CSI, Philippe Laurent with City Attorney's Office, Ronan Tucciaroni with the Museum of Art, Amanda Siegel with Human Resources, Ashvin Sinai with the City Manager's Office, Brandon Cordoba with the Building Department, Deborah Loam, Police Department, Juliana Jonas, City Attorney's Office, Michael Guy, the Budget Department, Zachary O'Brien, IT, Madison Kivett, Development Services, Michael Van Hosen, Police Department, and Priscilla Rodriguez, Development Services. A great group of 21. Thank you so much.
Good job for you, Kathy.
Thank you.
Always love doing recognitions. Hello, Bob. Nice to see you again. You bet. All right, we are up to public comment. How many signed speakers do we have?
Mayor, you have 9 signed speakers.
All right, very good.
Hey, your first
And
sign-
our first speaker?
your first signed speaker is Eleanor Chenille.
And just to let all the speakers know, generally speaking, we will not respond directly to your comments, thoughts, or suggestions until later in the meeting when it's the City Commission comments. One of the main reasons for that is not to engage in debate with you, but to engage in thoughtful commentary at that portion of the meeting. Every now and then, somebody here may want to, share something. And if you love what somebody's saying, we just ask you no clapping, so we can keep going. You can put your hands like this. If you don't like what somebody's saying, we don't want you to boo. We just go thumbs down, okay? All right, we have an agreement. Eleanor, welcome.
Hi, my name is Eleanor Schnell, 5109 Northwest 57 Terrace. I was really moved by the gentleman and the lady back there, Ray Honescu. 2 things he said. One, he moved here 30-something years ago because it was a great place to raise a family, which is still true, and also it's affordable city. I am coming to again in front of you guys to ask you to reconsider the huge increase in sports fees that you guys voted for back in June. We did a registration over the weekend, and we did tell our people that next time they register, the fee would go from $150 to almost $190 due to the increase in the user fees. And they said, I thought that's what we were paying taxes for, to help keep the fees low. So a lot of people are reconsidering voting for that referendum to lower and get rid of property taxes. So I think it's going to have a direct impact on this city to increase the number of people voting to get rid of that property tax. I think without it, people feel that they're going to be paying double fees. I had a lot of parents could not come here to speak today because they obviously have to work to possibly pay the increased fees. Now, we've been told that they have scholarship funds for people that cannot afford it. But when I went back and looked at the scholarship funds, instead of the $50,000, it's really only $25,000 scholarship for rec sports. And there's thousands of kids here in the city that play rec sports. And the most that any one kid will get is $200. That means it's only up for about 125 kids that would qualify for that before the fund would run out for the year. I also want to mention the proposed sports complex estimated to cost between 100 and 153 million. And I read a lot of articles in the Sun Sentinel and everything about how it would be great for the city, but I didn't really hear how it would be great for the residents. For the businesses, maybe. For the hotels, maybe. For the residents, where are they going to be playing? How much time are they going to get to enjoy the facilities? So I ask you to carefully consider your vote for that as well. We really want to keep things affordable in the city. Kids are fighting, we're fighting against screen time with the kids. We want to make sure that they're able to get out on the courts, be with their friends, and also we heard that they're going to be a consultant to come talk to us. We would really like to make sure we have input with that as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I
Thanks for
respectfully
coming
ask you to guys to reconsider that.
Our next speaker?
Our next speaker is Kendra Dexter.
Kendra, are you here? Okay. Next speaker.
Our next speaker is Dr. Brian Leo.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Mayor and Commission, and our first responders, as well as the community of Coral Springs. It's an honor to be here, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you. My purpose of being here is really to introduce myself. I'm the medical director of the Coral Springs Health and Ambulatory Surgery Center, and also to introduce the community to our center with the Coral Springs community as the Cleveland Clinic has grown into your community and your neighborhood, and now we are your neighbors and on University here, and we bring some service lines to Coral Springs that you may not be aware of, which include clinical services like orthopedic surgery, general surgery, colorectal surgery, dermatology. We have also a pulmonary service, cardiologists, urologists, and gynecologists that are here to help take care of your health. We also have imaging services like MRI scanners, CAT scanners, X-ray, and ultrasound. And these bring a bunch of talented and well-trained physicians as well as nurses to help keep the community healthy and safe. And we just appreciate this opportunity to come here. We have extended hours oftentimes to help with those that are working. And we hope that we can be more involved in the community and appreciate this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Leo. Where on University are you?
We're at 5701 North University, so right next to the Sawgrass Expressway, the big white building there on the corner. It was constructed in 2018, and we very much appreciate being in the neighborhood. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. And our next speaker?
Our next speaker is Tyler Hodges.
Okay, we don't see that person.
Our next speaker is Sheila Kozik.
Sheila? Hi, welcome, Sheila.
My name is Sheila Cusick. I live in Ramblewood South. I've been here since 1980. And my main concern is I have talked to George Soberon. He couldn't make it today. I'm a retired probate paralegal, so I have done business with the mayor in his law firm maybe about 10 years ago. My concerns are the new Airbnb homes coming up in Coral Springs, Invitation Homes in Coral Springs. And regarding the police, I wanted to know what happened to the slice of Coral Springs where they used to have meetings to tell you could mention what happened in each neighborhood. Since the pandemic, that's not here. And I'm concerned about the mall. Sears is empty, and I hope they haven't planned to put more apartments in there because the traffic is ridiculous. And I really think, I moved here in 1980, so Coral Ridge Properties is the developer, Westinghouse of Coral Springs. The scooters and bikes and the parents parking before and after the schools, it's like a traffic jam. And the slogan they used to have was the city and the country, and now it's something like the city that has everything. I don't know how that happened because George Soberon told me that the ADA had something to do with it. They now have assisted living homes in private homes and also child care centers in a private home. So I also want to know what happened to the Forum, the little newspaper that went around. That's not here anymore. So that's most of my concerns.
Thank you, and thanks for sticking around for some.
And I also have a copy of the restrictions for Ramblewood. I took it out of my packet when I bought the house.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
You got a lot of hands there, Ms. Cusick. So nice to meet you. Nice to see you again. And our next speaker?
Our next sign speaker is Denise Fatigate.
Welcome, Denise.
Thank you. Good morning, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Denise Fatigate. I'm here today not only as the president of Coral Springs Youth Soccer, but also as a concerned citizen. For the past 54 years, CSYS has proudly served this community as a nonprofit, volunteer-run organization. Nearly 2,000 children participate each season because hundreds of volunteers dedicate countless hours providing an affordable, high-quality recreational soccer program. We love this community. This is why the current direction of our relationship with Parks and Rec is so discouraging and beginning to take the wind out of our sails. It has become increasingly perplexing for volunteers who simply want to serve the children of Coral Springs. CSYS is an independent 501c3 nonprofit. We do not work for the city, we work alongside the city. For decades, this partnership worked well. Today, however, it feels as though the line between city employees and nonprofit volunteers has become blurred. Rather than being treated as partners, we are too often treated as subordinates despite operating as an autonomous organization. Communication is also broken down. We have not had a sports coalition meeting since last October, eliminating an important opportunity for collaboration and transparency. Recently, valuable volunteer time has been spent dealing with bureaucracy. Quite frankly, we should never have been included in the RFP process in the first place. We've been limited to a single point of contact with Parks and Rec, creating unnecessary burdens on our board. We were assured the recently approved $50 fee would be discussed during an upcoming sports policy review, yet it was voted on before we had an opportunity to present our concerns. We were also troubled by proposals for the city to collect registration fees, which disregards our role as an independent nonprofit organization. Operationally, due to maintenance, we're losing the equivalent of 10 small fields during the first 2 months of this season and have only been offered the equivalent of 3 in return. That directly affects the children and families we serve. Last week, our concerns escalated when 3 Parks and Rec employees showed up to what was a private CSYS board meeting. I explained we were having our confidential budget discussion and only board members could remain. Instead of respecting that, I was pressured by Parks and Rec director over speakerphone to allow city employees to stay. When I explained that our budget discussions are confidential, the conversation became confrontational. That interaction reinforced the growing us versus them culture we have been experiencing. There seems to be a lack of understanding and respect for the volunteers who lead these nonprofit organizations. Our volunteers are professionals, parents, business owners, and taxpayers who sacrifice time away from their careers and families because they believe in serving this community. At CSYS, we teach sportsmanship, teamwork, respect, and fair play. We simply ask that those same values guide the city's relationships with its volunteer organizations. We respectfully ask for transparency, collaboration, mutual respect, and recognition that Coral Springs Youth Soccer is an independent nonprofit partner, not a city department.
I'll give you another 10 seconds.
I'm done. Please help us restore this partnership that has made our program a source of pride for generations of Coral Springs families. Thank you all for your time and consideration.
Thank you. And I will tell you that before City Commission comments, I will call for a 5-minute recess for me to at least personally speak with the city manager about some of your concerns.
Appreciate
I'm giving everybody a heads up.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. And our next sign speaker?
Our next sign speaker is Ryan Shera.
Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning, commissioners and city manager. I'm going to just dig into a little bit more of the details that Denise talked about, particularly regarding the fields. But before I do that, I did want to start off on a positive note that we did start off running a series of clinics, running twice per month. We've done about 4 of them so far, and the response has been excellent. They've been well run, well attended, and the feedback that we've got from them as I walk around and speak to the parents has been very, very positive. So we hope to continue to do that. I know there's folks that have asked us if we could run a second league tournament, and while that's not possible, this is kind of at least steps into that role a little bit, so we have more continuity across the year. So let me, I've been doing this for about 15 years, and one of the things I get involved with is fields and scheduling. Our fields and scheduling guy couldn't be here today, so I'm going to kind of take this a little bit, So traditionally, we have our U6, U8, and U10 divisions usually use the grass fields, and that is, U10 is our largest age group. We're talking about, last year we had 947 kids in that particular age group altogether. So, we were asked, at a meeting to delay our start of our season until January, right? Which, because they wanted to resod the fields, and we thought that's a great idea. We would look into it. However, that would mean shifting everything out, and it ended up that we would have our finals, the last part of the season would end up on the weekend at the beginning or end of the Broward County spring break. Nobody would show up, right? So that became a non-viable. We had a meeting with several Parks and Rec. I think 4 of us were there, and there were a number of, someone from travel was there, and we presented our schedule in detail to say, look, this is what we need, here's how we lay it out, this is the fields we use, and we left there only to be told yesterday that we're going to lose 10, we get 3 fields back, essentially. The math doesn't add up, right? You can't park 3 cars in one spot. So, we're here to say, what do we do, right? And, it wasn't that long ago. I think most of us were here with the whole RFP process. And at the very end of it, when the dust all settled, I'm pretty sure that you guys will recall, we talked about prioritizing recreational sports, right? I'll pull the transcripts if we have, to deal with that. So, what concerns me more is the communication,
How much more time you need?
I'm just about done, yeah. So I just want to say the communication, the tone of it, I'll share it with you guys if you want to read it. It is not good, right? That's an understatement. So all I'm trying to get to is kind of what Denise said, is let's try to get back onto let us work with you, right? We would like to reset and try and get back on a more positive track.
Gotcha.
Right?
Right.
Thank you.
And our next speaker?
Our next speaker is Jennifer Levy.
Welcome, Jennifer. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Jennifer Levy. I live at 9821 Northwest 37th Street in Coral Springs. I'm a Coral Springs resident for over 12 years and also, as you know, a candidate for City Commission. Over the past several months, I've had the privilege of speaking with thousands of residents while I'm knocking on their doors throughout the city. One thing has become very clear. People have a lot of questions about the proposed Sportsplex and what it means for Coral Springs. Today's agenda includes moving forward with awarding the architectural and engineering design contract for this project. Whether someone supports the Sportsplex or has concerns about it, I believe everyone can agree that residents deserve the opportunity to participate in this conversation. This morning meeting isn't the best time to have the conversation. Teachers are back at school, residents are at work, parents are back at their regular schedules, camp is limited, so moms are home with their children. A decision of this magnitude deserves the greatest possible public participation. I'm respectfully asking the Commission to postpone this item and bring it back to an evening meeting when more residents have a meaningful opportunity to attend, ask questions, and share their perspective before the project moves forward. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Levy. And our next speaker?
Our next signed speaker is Alice Zendel-Simon.
Simon.
Simon.
Hi, Alice. Welcome, nice to see you.
Hi, Alison Del Simon. I too am speaking. I didn't know Jennifer was speaking about the same issue. As you know, unfortunately, I know you can't talk about it. Amendment 3 might pass. We're in trouble. You all know we're in trouble. So I respectfully ask that this decision in spending a huge load of money on the sportsplex, when you're hearing from that wonderful soccer group that my kids grew up with, and these other people who are saying the fees are increasing and they just can't afford it. I know we want bragging rights for the city. I get that. I've been here for 40 years. I love our city. But don't do this to the residents. This is for your bragging rights, not for the residents. Wait till November to vote on this. Please postpone this vote. This is detrimental to everybody here. From what I'm seeing, the architecture's $1,250,000, if you including the extra in case you need to make any changes. What I just read, it's $100 million sportsplex, which really could be 150 to 250 million. Come on, it's Coral Springs. We don't need this. This really is a family community. What are you doing? The Everglades project's wonderful. It's great that people are going to be out there. We don't need this. Let's get back to family values here. The taxes, you might have voted it down, but you all know all the other taxes are going up. It's going to be crucial. You're going to have so many poor people here. You don't want to do that. You're not those people. You're not going to do it to these people. It's going to leave Amendment 3, from what I read, will leave a $27 million hole here in Coral Springs. Whether that's true or not, again, I read it. Everything's going to increase. It's not the time to be doing this. Let's see how the vote comes out, talk. And what Jennifer said, yeah, I agree with her. Include the residents. This is major. It is major. As you know, you're taking away their gym from Mullins Park. Please reconsider and do not vote on this today. Include your residents. It's vital. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Simon. And our next signed speaker. And thank you, audience, for following my rules.
Our next signed speaker is Robert Fogel.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, commissioners and mayor, city manager, and the thinkers and doers and leaders of this party that we're having. 10991 Northwest 12th Drive, Coral Springs. Speaking for all the taxpayers in the city, change is coming for sure in November. And I wrote down 3 things that are very, very important for you to live by and all of us live by. Timing is everything, whether it's business and what you're trying to accomplish, or whether it's personal, whether you're getting married, or changing a job, or talking to your children about the essence of time. The second thing is RC factor, and I explained it to a few people. A lot of people don't know what the RC factor is. It's resistance to change. Very important that you analyze change in our society and what's happening with it. Sometimes it's, a lot of times it's negative, and a lot of times could be positive change. Resistance to change is poison if you don't address it properly. The third thing is ROI, return on investment. I'm looking through this agenda today. There is a lot of questionable expenditures in this agenda. Some of them don't make any sense, numbers-wise, and I'm a numbers person. I came from the streets of the Bronx, and I managed to become chairman of businesses that I ran for 10 years. There's no way you can spend this kind of money. 3 times more than the previous year. We're buying printers for $275,000, and we don't know how many printers there are. What are we doing? It's throughout this whole agenda. Doesn't make any sense. There are a lot of questionable expenditures on this agenda. And I want you to think about those three things. ROI, we need to attach a return on investment for everything that we do. Everything. I know I had to do it. You had to explain, what are we getting back for the things that we're spending money for? What are we getting in return? The RC factor, I explained it to you. Very important for you and your families and everybody you know that address that issue. And again, timing is everything.
Thank you, Mr. Fogel.
I had a sign on my office door for 40 years. Timing is everything.
Gotcha.
Thank you very much.
And our next sign speaker?
Mayor, we have no more signed speakers.
Great, yeah, thank you, all the signed speakers. Now, anybody else that did not sign up that would like to be heard? Come on up, Kurt. And you can be next. And then Robert. Welcome, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Kurt Tiefenbraun. I reside at 9228 Northwest 2nd Street, and I'm here to add my voice to many in our community that oppose the property tax amendment that's proposed by Tallahassee. Just hours ago, a judge ruled the amendment as written was deliberately misleading to voters, and if you have a good law for voters, you shouldn't have to lie to sell it. Since state law effectively has a gag order on our city staff, which prevents our city from publishing and or officially communicating how damaging this property tax amendment would be to us, the residents of the city, I'm here as a resident, as I said, to add my voice to oppose the amendment. There are 50 states, over 3,000 counties, and well over 100,000 cities and towns in our country. If there was some magic way to get something for nothing, you think someone would have figured it out by now. So leave it to Florida legislator to come up with something harebrained. One thing I think most people may not realize is that close to 50% of our city's budget is used to provide public safety, police, fire, emergency response, 911 call center. This amendment could effectively defund our police. The Florida Fraternal Order of Police opposes this amendment. As our city would struggle to make ends meet, we all lose. Further comment from our commission on this amendment with specific information on how this city would be affected is greatly appreciated. I think it's apropos that we saw so many recognitions, as we have in the past just today, of how our emergency response and public safety officers provide service to us on a daily basis. That's the thing that we actually feel every day, is that safety. So another note I'd like to say, for example, on informing us, Representative Christine Hunchowski will be speaking at an event tomorrow night to explain the pitfalls of this amendment. And as our residents would love to hear more specificity, if possible, from elected officials and wherever we can about how this would affect us here in this city. I mean, I'll be happy to come back if I hear something and speak on this issue again, since we're a little bit limited, I guess, on what we can say for or against a particular item coming on an amendment. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And next to you, Denise, I forgot your name. Please come on up. And then Robert.
My name is Jean Anderson. I live in the Pine Ridge Villas neighborhood. And while I'm here to support many of the other topics that have come up, I'd also like to bring into the conversation data centers. I know that in our neighboring county, Palm Beach, there has been a recent pushback by the citizens towards the completion or establishment of a large data center in their community. And I would like to bring forth to this commission, as a leader in the Broward County community, and given our proximity and our value of the Everglades, that we would be leaders in opposing any data center establishment that would infringe upon the Everglades or upon our city resources. There is as Jennifer said, there is a lot of concern about that topic in the community as well. And so I think big things like this that may come down the road, which I know they're not currently, well, they're not in the current public conversation. I just would like to make sure that we do keep the public involved should that topic come up. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Robert Thatcher.
Mr. Mayor, Commissioners, and City Manager. My name is Robert Thatcher, Coral Springs resident. I'm on the board of the Coral Springs Basketball Club. I'm also an athletic director for the high school boys, and I've coached there for many years. There have been important topics like the sports complex and the amendment. The fee, the recreation fee, I think is no less important to the citizens of this community. Our basketball club, sir, has 1,800 to 2,000 registrations a year. Raising the fee from $14 to $50 represents a $65,000 to $70,000 tax on your citizens. Providing this service to the community, I think, is important, and certainly a 275% increase is not something that is suitable or proper to your residents. We understand that certain costs may go up, and it's certainly a small increase in fee anybody could understand. But to increase a fee from $14 to $50 is going to price out a lot of parents and a lot of families. I can tell you from what I personally see, this basketball club has become a family. Kids who don't even play show up at the gym. They're not on the streets. They're not hanging out anywhere. Their place to hang out is at the gym or Mullins Park for basketball, which is what we want. And as a matter of fact, this basketball club has become so important to them that we had an over 18 men's club that used to be 30 and 40-year-old men playing basketball. Now these kids, when they graduate high school, they're all joining this because they want to stay part of this club and part of this gym. And I can tell you personally, I've seen kids come up to me and tell me their parents can't afford this. You know, they have 3 or 4 other kids. If you have a parent with 2 or 3 kids in this club 4 seasons a year, that's $500 or $600 or $700 that these parents have to pay additional for the kids to play basketball. And I can tell you I've had kids come to me and say, could you please give me a couple of more weeks to get this fee? My parents can't afford it, and I'm trying to earn money to do it. And yes, I know there's some scholarship funds, but that's also sliced among a lot of different clubs, and there's very little that we can do. I can tell you that this is a very, very, very important service, and I would strongly ask that this increase in fee be reconsidered, and certainly if it's going to be considered, be far more nominal than it is right now. And I thank you very much again for the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
You're welcome. Nice to see you. Would somebody else like to be heard? Mr. Moreira, and then you.
Good morning, everyone. Joe Moreira, 3275 Northwest 114th Lane. Since we had a meeting here in person, I have to say that I have the wonderful pleasure of having my family expand. My daughter had 2 twin girls.
Congrats.
And we are blessed to have them join our family, and we look forward to meeting them in person when they come out of the NICU. So that's a wonderful addition, and I'm blessed to be enjoying them for now. But as far as the business is concerned today, in consent item number 10, the clinical service lease. I thought that this program was initiated due to COVID, but it was going to be sunsetting at some point. So my question is, in addition to the lease expense that we have, who's covering the personnel that operates that facility? Is that part of the city ownership to pay for them as well? How is this employee insurance payment being handled? Does that fee goes back into the clinic as an operation revenue that gets involved back into the business of operating the clinic? So does, at the end of the day, do the residents are subsidizing all those additional expenses? And has there been any impactful on how much savings this clinic has really generated to the insurance? I believe the city self-insured. So those information would be great to justify whether we should up the lease and all the other expenses that go along with it. Just a little clarity would be good to us to understand how the whole thing operates. Thank you very much for it. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Joe. And you can come on up, and then I'll call you next.
Hi, good morning. My name is Mary Gaeta. I live at 3211 Northwest 120th Avenue here in Coral Springs. I've been in the same house for 46 years. My street has never been paved. I know, Sean, you were out at my house, actually, when they were doing all that construction. I did come originally to come here because of the sportsplex that's going to be at the end of Royal Palm Boulevard, and I'm thinking of the traffic and the schools and what's there. But I also am with the soccer and basketball. I've been involved with the Tackle Football Club since 1981. They have a field named after my late husband. My late husband actually was on the Vision, I think it was the Vision 2000 project back in the 80s. And at that time, they said they would like to see the city grow to 75,000 people. And we have so far surpassed that. It's just boggles my mind. The youth sports in this program is so vital. And I know this sportsplex, you want to have other teams and other cities, and we need to take care of our people. I remember back in the 80s when the football club was the predominant participant in our town. I mean, our town was built around the sports programs, and then they gave that up. And I just feel that the sportsplex is not in the best interest of our city and our residents. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Guetta. And young man in front.
Thank you for calling me young man. I appreciate it.
I like when I get called that.
So, thank you, commissioners, for having me. My name is Colin Thomas. I'm the president of the Coral Springs Flag Football Club. And I'm going to read, so apologies for looking down. Our goal at Coral Springs Flag Football is to provide a safe and fun environment for our community and to inspire the next generation to continue to participate in a sport that we all enjoy. I believe other leagues that are here today provide similar to members of their sport. This comes with the financial responsibility of paying for referees, gear, software licensing, insurance, field usage, and all other miscellaneous items that may pop up during any given season. I believe Coral Springs is a little more affluent than other surrounding neighborhoods. That being said, it seems that we are asking more of Coral Springs families to participate in organized sports. In today's economic times, many parents are forced with the choice of providing food for their table, paying their health insurance, or paying for their car or rent. I don't know the numbers, but I feel that this economic crisis has reached Coral Springs in some capacity. With the significant increase in per-player registration fees that Coral Springs Park and Rec is asking, this will add an additional choice for our parents to make. Do I choose Chick-fil-A, ramen noodles, paying for Susie's busted finger, or paying for Jimmy's football, and how do I get them there? There are a few uncertainties that I'd like to acknowledge. This is separate subject. One is the level 2 background screenings that we will have to force our volunteers to undergo, our coaches. The uncertainty lies in the cost. How much will it cost? Who will bear that cost? And how the city plans to administer this for the various leagues here in Coral Springs. There are several more questions that I have regarding this subject and wouldn't mind a meeting discussing this in detail should you require. The other is the proposed sportsplex remodel. This came up quite a bit today. Will this new structure be available for all recognized Coral Springs leagues? Will it be free or at minimal cost to Coral Springs residents? What is the likelihood of this new facility being built? How much will it cost Coral Springs taxpayers? Those are the questions that I have. The other thing I'd like to acknowledge is the miscommunication or lack of communication when it comes to how the City of Coral Springs Parks and Rec Department handles recognized league field usage, league finances, cost per player, scholarship funding, which apparently is an administrative nightmare. I believe we league representatives have been provided different information at different times depending on who or when we are speaking with the City of Coral Springs Parks and Rec. For example, I won't get into the example because I'm running out of time. Are we still to be contacted by a consultant to discuss sports policy and other topics? Is this additional cost
You have
per
to
player part
conclude
of
your
that?
time, Mr. Thomas.
Thank you.
Because it's 10:37. Thank you. Are there any other public speakers? All right, public comment is closed, and we will move on to consent. Before we do, I just want to make a quick response to all of the public speakers. We hear you, we're listening to you, and I can tell you personally, I appreciate your leadership, and for those of you that have been involved in any of the sports leagues for any length of time, we love that. We all have kids that have grown up here or are growing up here now that are engaged in the sports leagues, and without your volunteerism, our city wouldn't be the same. So I'm sharing that thanks really on behalf of all of us, if I can be so bold. So are there any pulls on consent besides what I'm pulling? I'm pulling number 20.
Number 10, Mayor.
You're pulling 10? Any other pulls? Okay, would you like to move the rest?
Move the balance.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, no opposed, carries unanimously. Okay, you pulled number 10, clinic services lease.
Yes, I want to address Mr. Marrera. I would like Kathy to come up and explain the savings to the city, please.
Good morning, Commission. Thank you for that. This is a request to renew the lease for our relationship with Broward Health for our Employee Health and Wellness Center. And essentially, this is our hub for medical services, health and wellness services for our employees and their families. It is what's considered to be a lower cost model than our traditional health insurance. So periodically, we do run the ROI process for the clinic services, and our last report showed that our ROI is essentially 2 to 1, which means that for every dollar that we spend with the center, we're realizing $2.03 of a value back on that investment. It is a model where it's lower cost. So for an example, the standard office visit on the health plan would run $100. With the clinic model, it's $70. So it's a $30 cost savings for every visit that we have driven through the clinic. For last year, we had 5,933 office visits. So the more that we utilize that model, the more that the funding is shifting from the health plan to the clinic. So it is a cost savings venture, and it continues to build momentum and utilization, thus driving the funds from the health plan to the clinic model. And just, if I may, in addition to that, the lease itself is under market value for the square footage, so we did get a good negotiated rate on that, as well as a 3% escalator for the second and third year of the lease. So just wanted to point that out as well, and happy to answer any additional questions.
No questions from me. Commissioner Sarah.
Kathy, I was going to be pulling this item too, so when Commissioner McHugh pulled it, I didn't say anything. But as far as the agreements, and we had a speaker question whether this was a COVID thing. Can you clarify that? And then as far as the agreement itself, can you explain what the clinic structure is so the audience knows?
Sure. So we did open the clinic when we partnered with a third party in 2020, which was in the midst of COVID. It didn't come from COVID. So it was a concept that was in the works for many, many years prior. We were able to bring it to fruition during COVID, and it did also it was well received in the middle of that. So the timing was just that that's when we actually had the agreement and opened the center itself. So it was pre-COVID, conceptually brought to life, if you will, in 2020. And there, at this point, the goal is to continue on with the center because it is a very valuable benefit for our employees and families, as well as a cost savings opportunity to continue to drive utilization through the clinic. There is a PEPM cost, a per employee per month cost that we pay to the clinic, and then everything else is passed through. So they're passing through the cost of the salaries, the materials, the equipment that we're utilizing there, and again, the return on investment is there because we're realizing a 2 to 1 ROI on the clinic.
That's a great ROI.
Agreed.
Even Mr. Fogel would like that. Any other questions? Okay, would you like to move it now, Commissioner?
Yes, I would like to move item 10.
Second. Second by Commissioner Simmons. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. And for item number 20, I'm going to bring up Chief Mock, and this is just to really edify everybody about our school resource officer and share a little bit more about our investment in school resource officers, period. So can you tell us what this item's about, Chief?
Good morning.
Good morning.
This item is, as you know, by state statute, it is required to have, the school board is responsible for all the schools in the city with the guardians and having security at the schools. The charter school being a partnership with our city and being our charter school, this is us putting our officer in there just like we do the other schools. The officer assigned to charter school is Officer Brian Gasper. He's been there for years. He's a phenomenal mentor, leader, sportsman, coach, and the relationships he's built in that school are paramount. A lot of the kids come back, they talk to him, they see him there, but his main priority in the charter school is the safety and security of the students and the staff that attend that school. We recently have been implementing and working with the charter school on training, reference to different threats, different levels of response. He has been key in that and is going to be moving forward, getting our students ready to understand the training and what to do if, God forbid, a crisis situation happens.
And what's the estimated cost for this SRO?
The estimated cost is approximately
120, I'm kind of looking at 150, 40, she's looking at, all right, say the word.
109.
190.
190.
And that being said, that the charter school does send money to us to be able to pay for that. So this isn't an expense in that capacity. So we are actually recognizing funds coming from that to be able to pay for Officer Gasper.
Wonderful. I really appreciate it.
And
I say thank you.
absolutely. Just one more point of clarity too is that when Manpower allows us, when we're allowed to have a roving position through the Manpower, which means that in essence an extra SRO. That is a filler for other schools. God forbid someone has a family emergency or something they have to leave. But when we don't have that, we do house them at Coral Springs Charter as well. So we do have two there during those times, which is a benefit to us as well.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you, Mayor.
Chief. Would somebody like to move item 20?
I'll move item 20.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, carries unanimously. Next is policy formation. Item number 21 is the second amendment to the interlocal agreement for solid waste disposal and recyclable materials processing authority of Broward County. Hello again, Chad.
Good morning, Commission. This item is a request to approve the Second Amendment to our ILA with the Solid Waste Authority of Broward County. The First Amendment was approved back in our June City Commission meeting upon a contingent approval of a future opt-out opportunity. That's really the highlight of the Second Amendment. Two main points of note on the Second Amendment. There is an opportunity to opt out in 2027 that could be extended based upon a majority vote of the governing board of the Solid Waste Authority. And then there's also a opt-out in 2048. With me this morning, Sam May, the Executive Director with the Solid Waste Authority of Broward County, and their legal counsel, Jamie Cole.
Great. Nice to have you with us, Sam and Jamie.
And Mayor, so the commission knows, the commission direction was to have that opt-out to be a date certain. There is a RFP which has to be no later than November 15, 2027, but what it says is which dates may be extended by majority vote of the governing board, so it's not a absolute objective time. So that's was the concern that we had heard in speaking with the city manager. So fortunately, Sam and Jamie are here, and they're going to talk to you about what the plan is moving forward.
Great. Sounds good.
And at this time, I'll open it up to Jamie and Sam for any comment.
Sounds good. Thank you, Chad.
Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning, Sam.
Commission, city attorney, city manager, city attorney, city clerk, and to all the residents and audience out here. So yeah, we're here to discuss the Second Amendment and the opt-out clause, specifically the first opt-out clause, which is in 2027. And there is some language in there that gives the governing board the ability to extend that time in case there's issues with negotiating the contract for the processing or for the disposal, or in case something comes up that would prevent, you know, the RFP process from continuing on, such as a severe storm event that would come up during, you know, September or something like that. We don't want to even think about that. But we're also looking at coming up with a third amendment that would that's in discussion right now, that would basically be regarding the governance of boards. And that being said, this language could be put in there, added into that third amendment, that would allow there to be a time certain on the extension of maybe, you know, 1 year or 2 years at the very most, but probably not even more than 1 year, because, I mean, you know, people want this thing to move forward, and the rates to be given back to them so they can move forward with what they're doing as far as their contracts go. So that's really all I have to say on it. I don't know if Jamie wants to add anything else to it or not.
Certainly. Nice to see everyone. Nice to see you, Scott. Just to put this in perspective, you know, this Solid Waste Authority project has been now going on for about, I don't know, I was very young when this started. You know, after the Resource Recovery Board ended, several years later, Beam Fur from the county and various mayors got together to try to come up with some way to continue regionalization or cooperation between the county and the cities. And it was many years, and we finally got the Solid Waste Authority together. You all joined the interlocal agreement, which was great. You all have been active participants in it. Nancy was fabulous at the Solid Waste Authority. So the facilities amendment is really the key thing right now. By August 14th, we need to have cities representing 80% of the population of the participating cities to approve it. We now have 80%. Cities, the counties approved it, cities representing 80% have approved it. But a couple of the cities have approved it contingent on this second amendment being approved.
Gotcha.
And the second amendment can only be approved if all the cities that approve the facilities amendment have to also approve the second amendment. So that's why it's crucial that all the cities that have approved it also approve the second amendment. And we can't do anything to change that deadline. That deadline is carved in stone. So it is very important that this get enacted. Now, as to the second amendment, the reason we have a second amendment is because a couple of cities were concerned that you were doing a 40-year commitment and there was no way out. And we haven't done the RFPs yet, so we don't even know the exact pricing. So the second amendment, the purpose of this is to give you some flexibility so you know that one time, approximately the end of next year, you will be able to opt out after the RFPs are done. So the RFPs will be done, the executive committee will recommend an award of the contract. So you'll know the exact prices, and then once that is done, you have 45 days to decide, do you want to stay in or do you want to get out? Then there's another opt-out in 2048 when those first contracts expire. So the way it is drafted is right now, it says that the RFP, there's like a deadline of November 15th is the absolute deadline that the executive committee has to recommend an award. And once that happens, there's 45 days. Now, the provision that's caused, I guess, your city manager some concern, which is understandable, is the issue. There's a provision that says the governing board, which, by the way, is you and the other cities. It's not like some third party. It's really us. If we, as the cities, decide we need some additional time, it says the governing board by majority vote can extend it. The reason that's there is, as the executive director said, there could be a weather event. Some of the RFPs might not come out with good pricing. We might just not be happy with them, and we might feel we need some flexibility to reissue an RFP. That's the scenario that we wanted flexibility on. There was no discussion about an absolute deadline. No one brought that up, and no other cities have brought it up, but it is an interesting issue to talk about. So the deadline that we would put in is on the governing board's ability to extend the November 15th deadline. There could be a 1-year or a 2-year thing, and that will be discussed because of the concern you've raised, and your representative can bring it up at the governing board meeting, or we will bring it up at the governing board meeting as to whether that should be added, because there will be a third amendment most likely dealing with governance. So we are committed to do that, and we certainly hope that Coral Springs, which has been an integral member of the Solid Waste Authority, will stay with us and approve the Second Amendment.
And this Second Amendment is literally 1 or 2 year? 'Cause you
Well,
mentioned-
right now, it doesn't have any time period. What basically it says
That's what
is,
we're looking at for the Third Amendment.
in the Third Amendment, we can add in a 1 or 2 year deadline on the extension.
Okay.
But the expectation is that the RFPs will be done by November 15th, and so it'll be 45 days after that of next year. That's when it's expected. It could go down a couple more months. We don't see any scenario where it goes a year or 2 years or something like that, but just to be safe, we could put in a provision that gives us 1 or 2 years.
Gotcha. Thank you for being here. Commissioner
Absolutely.
Simmons, did you have any?
Any other questions? Because I'm ready to get to discussion.
Sure. Any other questions?
I don't have any questions.
No.
Okay.
Thank
you. So, anything else to add? Okay. Very good. So this is before us, item number 21. It's a request to consider. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
A discussion.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I'm just going to say this very clear because I've been extremely clear about this opt-out clause from the moment we talked about this at our very first workshop years ago. If there is not a defined opt-out date in that Third Amendment, there is no one in Broward County that can call me or text me to tell me to approve this. We need a defined opt-out language in that Third Amendment. I'm being very clear on the record about that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You got it. Understood. Thank you very much, Commissioner Simmons. Any other discussion? Commissioner Sarah.
Mr. Cole and Mr. May, thank you for being here, and Chad, thanks for your work with this. I mean, obviously, we've been invested in this from the beginning. We've been a leader at every level. I agree with you that our late, great Vice Mayor was a tremendous asset to the governing board. My question is that I was present when we voted, as a governing board to move this to the cities. But I was a bit concerned when we got the language that our legal department brought it back, that it wasn't legally satisfying to us with regards to our opt-out that my colleague is mentioning. So I guess my question is to John and to Catherine. Obviously, we want to move this work forward, and we want to be a collaborative partner with the missing language that the legal team or that contradictory language that the legal team identified. Did the comments and presentation on the record satisfy us moving forward, or does there need to be greater conversation?
Sure. So I wouldn't say it's contradictory. I just, the opt-out was, at least in our understanding and talking with the people involved, was going to have an absolute date. However, we are all partners in this. We're all municipalities. And when you look at the reasons as articulated, if God forbid we have some sort of disaster, what the representation is it's going to be done quickly. The Third Amendment, they're going to look to maybe address that with an absolute time, which may be farther in the future based on the fact that if something would happen that they couldn't get it done. But there's no intention on simply delaying it just for delaying it. There's basically two major reasons that it would be some sort of natural disaster, or if the RFP comes back completely unacceptable, which in case then they would be looking to do another RFP. So based on that, from a legal point of view, there's no issue, and there's nothing contradictory. It just was our expectation as the conversations occurred with Public Works was going to be a direct date. It's been explained. We're all partnerships together, so we're comfortable that way from a legal point of view, just knowing that it can be pushed back past the November 15th, 2027, but the reasons why would be certainly understandable.
Yes.
All right, so I just want to thank both of you guys for coming today. It was very important for us to talk this out. I will be seeking input from our commission through commission communications and future workshops, and giving them a detailed explanation of how our meetings are going. But on August 21st, I will be present. We will have a prepared statement just to show our support, but also how we would like to be a leader in this moving forward. So thank you for being here.
Great, thank you. Anything from you, Commissioner McHugh?
No, sir.
All right. A discussion is closed. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, nay? All right, carries unanimously. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you again, Sam and Jamie. Good to see you. Okay, next is item number 22, professional architecture / engineering design services for Coral Springs Sportsplex. Good morning.
Mayor, Commissioners. Yeah, this is to award PBK Architects of Florida to start the initial design process for the Sportsplex. It is for 30% completed drawings, so we can start the initial design phase. And the fee is the cost is $1,171,988.
All right. Any questions?
I do.
Yes.
So when we spoke briefly, you said the estimated return of value is $2.2 million a year. How did we come up with that number?
That was a performance study that was done by our consultants from Sports Facilities Company.
Okay, second question I have for you, Rob, is there was a gentleman who mentioned would the citizens of Coral Springs have certain times that the courts would be open to them?
Yeah, and that was actually a big part of this. As we initially started this, I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can, but I do think it's important. We started thinking of 8-court method here. So about a year ago, we went on a little tour to see some of the facilities that sports facilities companies have been a part of and built. And through that, there's been multiple of them that we've talked to that said, yeah, we also started with 8 courts, and we regret it. We're already looking to try to find 4 more courts. So they said, what do you plan on doing? Remember, don't forget rec, because rec's there. And then when you have 8 courts, your tournaments are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So when we returned from about a year ago from looking at these facilities, City Manager Catherine Givens asked us, we gave her an update on it, and one of the biggest topics was, don't forget about your residents, make sure that they have access to these facilities, and we would probably need 12. They would recommend us to do 12 courts. That would give 4 courts to the public. That's 1 more court than what they have right now over at the gymnasium. It would be a high-end product that would be as easy as transforming over to volleyball, to basketball. So it would be used for the community for multiple activities, multiple sports throughout the entire year for recognized programs, but not even recognized programs, but also just for the public and community themselves. One of the asks that we've heard that was really big on everybody's list was a walking track, an indoor walking track. That is actually part of this project also. So we took all the information that we've got from everybody that we've talked to over the course of the year to make sure that this was in the plan, and then it's up to the commission to decide if it's 12, if it's 8, or the finances, the money at that point. So I think we did a good job, and SFC helped us show us what's possible out there, and that's where we ended up with the 8 courts, with a big focus of the last 4 courts being for the community, for our basketball club, for our volleyball programs that we run, and for any other activities that are out there. And the other 8 courts, while they're not being used for tournaments, that would be shared use and would be available for the public.
In regards to partnerships, are we actively seeking partnerships to help with the funding of the gymnasium?
Yes, we were always looking at it. That was the direction that was given by the commission at the workshop, and we have been trying to reach out to certain people. P3s is another option that we would look to see if anybody's interested in funding it as a partnership. So yes, we're always looking at those avenues, and I can say that we've been discussing with Brad some people that we might put a letter of interest out if that's what's required.
What is the chances of getting an investor in that would actually fund the entire project?
Don't know the chances, man. I think you just got to put the LOI out there and find out. We have had contacts from certain companies. I can tell you that there is an interest there, but there hasn't been no sit-downs to go over any of the details yet.
I'm going to add into that because the question is, do we know if if an investor would fund all of it? Right now, the conversations that we're having isn't all of it, but we're trying to be able to have multiple investors. So when we look at the Sportsplex area, there is a lot of land that we would like to be able to we would like to be able to enhance, and at that point, yes, we would like to have multiple investors in that space. When it comes to different educational aspects, we know that having higher education, that to where we could have that also another area to be able to come out and do it. So do we know the exact amount? No, we do want to be able to have conversations to move it forward. And I do appreciate the work that they've been doing, because this is not supposed to be 100% on our residents. This is not supposed to be 100% on one particular group. It is trying to be able to compile as many different funding capabilities as possible. More times than not, we're really looking at that sponsorship. We're looking at public-private partnerships in this. Residents and their feedback, and I'll talk a little bit more about that once we kind of hear more about the discussion, has always been something that we care about. In this particular location does need to be, from our perspective, something that the community does participate with. But we'll talk a little bit more about that. I want you to be able to answer your questions.
So the city manager touched on the outlook of Sportsplex. Can you let, like, we know what the ultimate goal of Sportsplex Drive is. Can you touch on, you know, the future that we've discussed, the possible hotel out front of the ice rink and a possible training center out there and everything?
Yeah, there's a possible P3 out there right now. I don't want to mention names right now. We don't want to ruin anything, but there is a facility out there that might be interested in providing a high-end soccer and other training area out there. We have worked with trying to get college interest out there, college, as the mayor requested, some kind of college presence out there. We're working with the Ice Den and the Panthers right now to do improvements there. We're trying to get the hotel out there, and let's not forget that the Everglades Loops still on the table to go out there. We're trying to develop and be responsible and considerate with, you know, our dollars and residents' dollars by getting these P3s and working with other organizations to help fulfill a true sportsplex out at that area. So we're still confident that it can be done, and we're still going to keep proceeding on pushing forward with it until we're told to stop by the commission or by the city manager.
Okay. A couple other things, and I apologize. One woman brought up a concern of traffic. As a former traffic supervisor, I have no issues with traffic. The only concern I would have is we decide to hold an event while school's in session.
Yeah, that would probably be negotiated in agreements and contracts out there in that area when they can and cannot have those types of activities or events. We'll have traffic studies just like everywhere else. We'll make sure that, I mean, there's talks if it gets too crazy with parking and everything, parking garage is still on the table also. So we're aware of all that stuff too.
Okay. I don't know how to word this, but I do agree with the public that I think we should wait for the homestead vote to come in and reconsider this on November 5th commission meeting is what I think. That's just my personal opinion, because I think financially we are going to have to find some ways. You got a police contract coming up in another year, so it is a concern of mine moving forward at this time. And like the one gentleman brought up, or woman, I'm sorry, I would like to hear more input from the public at a nighttime meeting to see their feedback. It's just the way I feel, but I would like to see it move to a November 5th commission meeting instead of today.
So, JJ, with that, I'll treat that as a motion to continue the item, and can you tell us procedurally how that works?
Sure. So this is not a public hearing, so this was not advertised.
Right.
So this can be moved to a date uncertain or a date certain as suggested.
Okay.
If that's a motion, then you can absolutely accept it. I don't know if the city manager has any input on that date personally, but.
Sure. So is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a second to the motion. Discussion? Okay, discussion.
Yeah, I guess I'll start.
Sure.
We can't control what anyone writes in any of the local papers. I think while there was a rush to report on this item, they did not talk about all the things that we discussed as a commission back in a retreat when we started talking about this, and every single one of our focus was on the residents of Coral Springs in terms of what they could enjoy, how they could enjoy this facility, how we could have meeting spaces for people within Coral Springs, because oftentimes people come to us, residents come to us wanting to have events or meetings, and the only place they have is out west at the Marriott. And so that was something that went into it. We talked about other amenities with this facility that would be for residents. Now, we do have tournaments, we have them, and they do come here, and we do want to make sure our businesses are also receiving economic benefits from the tournaments and various leagues and things that people have when they bring outside folks in. So, of course, we would have liked for our business community to, be able to get some kind of benefit from something like this. It's not necessarily for bragging rights. It's what we thought was best because of the current gymnasium, which is dated, aging. We're constantly making a lot of different repairs, and things have to get put in there for that building. Also knowing that we've outgrown that space for years. Yeah, years we've outgrown that space. So this was an opportunity to try to be innovative, but also increase the space for the gymnasium because we do not have a lot of residents that can actually use the current space. I know that personally because when my sister played travel basketball, we could never get time for her to even practice 5 minutes in that gym because of it being always booked out, rented. And on top of that, we also turn away a lot of events and things and people wanting to put together events because we just don't have the space or time because they're booked out years in advance, which is a great thing. People want to come here. But we wanted to make sure we afforded that opportunity. But also, we've heard over the years how many residents would like some kind of indoor fitness areas and things of that nature, and that was also something that we put in there. And so it's unfortunate that that narrative was not being presented. I know it's easy to say that because we're in the elected body that we somehow have nefarious purposes or we aren't thinking about the residents. But when we thought about this facility, that was the first thing that we thought about. And I say that because the next thing besides making sure we had that focus on our residents was we were very clear to staff that we were not going to see this through if we did not get a partnership with someone to invest in this facility so that it wasn't borne completely on the backs of residents. That's something that all 5 of us were in agreement in and made sure that was clearly directed to staff. So it was something that we weighed considerably over the time. So I just want to make sure that that narrative is out there as well. This wasn't something that we're just we pulled out of nowhere. We really were trying to solve problems when it came to our facility, especially a city of our size and the amount of recreational leagues and sports leagues and things that we have that would be able to make use of this facility. We were trying to solve that problem as well. So with that, my comments are complete on this, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you for your accurate and full comments on that, and, depicting a lot more than what's been reported. And I do appreciate the motion and the second. Just very quickly, and then I'll go to the other commissioners for more discussion. What's the effect of delaying the vote, and is there a preference of when this might be renewed from the part of city management?
From my perspective, this is something that we do. You give me direction in terms of the strategic plan, and this item was put on after listening to our residents during visioning, and we know what our community is. We know Coral Springs is a community to where residents want to come and they want to feel safe, they enjoy the parks and recreation spaces, and we have a lot of families, so there's a lot of schools in Coral Springs. In that, we have listened to our residents, as Commissioner Simmons said, say that there is a lot of we do have a lot of outdoor spaces. We do want to invest in them. You've seen that in our parks. I appreciate that, Rob and your team, when it comes to trying to be able to play on fields more. So we are in a space to where we are trying to enhance our parks facilities for our residents because they've been saying certain things to us. So this is one of the areas that we did want to be able to solve problems with because we've been listening to residents. That all being said, part of the 30% drawings was to give something to the residents that they could understand. So it's something it's something tangible so that we can have more conversations with our residents so that they can be a part of it and they can be with us in building What is it that you're wanting to see? But if we don't have anything to show them in terms of this is what we're looking to do, then some of that conversation is harder to have. That being said, that isn't a situation to where we can't have some conversations preliminarily before doing 30% drawing. So if that's something, again, I know that you all listen to residents. We form our plans based off of what our residents say and the fact that we want to be a premier city. So yes, we're going to make it be a nice asset into the community, and we do want other people to be able to invest in that. So from my perspective, it delays it a little bit. Is it is it detrimental? No. I will say that we do have investors that are watching right now, wanting to make sure that the city is still committed into this project. I do think we still are. I'm hearing that the residents want to have a little bit more involvement in that, to where as long as they can understand we may not have something physical to show them, and that we will come back to them if we kind of see how November 3rd that vote does happen, then to me, that is something that we could be asking and providing information to the residents so that they can start between now and that November time. They can hear what our plan is. They can be a part of it. And that's something that we can do to still keep momentum in the project while listening to our residents. You all have said that you do not want, and I ask our residents to please come to us for information, because I do see a number of 200 million. That is not true. Please come to us for information on what our projects are. We are transparent. We want to give you the correct information versus what you're kind of reading out there. We will put more information on our website so that our residents can look at what the dollar amount is and our efforts in bringing, we may not be able to say who, but we will let you know that we are in the conversation on wanting to bring in a public-private partnership so that they will offset that cost for our residents. So that's kind of a long-winded answer. I'm happy to be able to keep moving this forward, because that is the direction you have told me. This is how we can do it. It delays it a little bit, but hopefully the investors still see our commitment. Hopefully our residents truly do know this was meant to be able to solve some of the issues that you have asked us around. Indoor pickleball, we're trying to be able to somehow find some times to be able to do that. It won't be all the time, but still we'll be able to do some of that. So we'll have a little bit more work on our hands to do that, and we can bring it back to you.
Great. And I hope the residents have heard that we've heard them. Any discussion from you, Commissioner Sarah?
Yeah, a lot's been said, and I agree with just about all the comments. I appreciate the motion on the floor to continue this. I'm in agreement with that position, because ultimately we only have one shot of doing anything right, and we have spent a lot of time with staff. This was a project that was generated and started through strategic planning for a lot of the reasons that you have just heard. We've had many retreats, a lot of conversation, a lot of dialogue. But the one thing that I think is important, and you heard, is the fiscal transparency. Fiscal transparency. And we heard some of the residents in the audience want some fiscal transparency, and as a city, we tried to not only model that, but lead that. But there were some good suggestions that came from public comment today on some strategic ways that we can move this forward if we decide to continue and wait till November. The outcome of the vote in November is a critical decision for all of us, and it is very important for everyone in the audience, anyone that's listening. They need to not believe everything that they're reading. There's some truth in the comments and some that it's not. And everyone needs to do their due diligence to be educated on what they're voting for and why they're voting for it. And this city commission and city staff will take the direction of our residents and the outcome of that vote and lead once again with transparency. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner McHugh.
Thank you, Mayor. So I just do want to make something very clear. I do want to see this happen eventually. I do want Sportsplex Drive to be a staple in the state of Florida with the ice den, the hotel, and the gymnasium. Obviously, I want it done at less cost to the city and more investors involved in this. But to make it clear, this is ultimately something I want to see eventually happen, just less cost to the city of Coral Springs. And I almost called you Chief McKean. Brad, listen, I really appreciate your work with this, and Rob, your work with this. And I look forward to seeing, maybe a workshop of some sort, and we get more investors involved, because like I said, I would love to see this happen.
I love that idea, to bring some potential investors to a workshop to hear from us and potentially hear from them. But I'm happy to speak with you about that, City Manager, after this. After this vote, we're going to take a 3-minute recess. I need to use the facilities. I don't want to miss the vote, and that'll be the only recess that we take before we conclude the meeting. We're going to try to move this a little faster. I know at least Commissioner Simmons would like to leave by noon. I was hoping originally leave by 11:30, but it was also very important for all of us to hear from all the speakers, and for me as the mayor not to limit your comments to 2 minutes, because I want all of the speakers, whether you're still here or not, to understand we're listening to you, and what you have to say is important to us. And it's not our intention to be defensive at all. Matter of fact, many of you spoke from your heart. You spoke with great leadership ideas, and we all appreciate that. Any further discussion on this motion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All right, so it continues to time uncertain at this juncture, but I think what we're looking for is likely to be after November 3rd. Okay? And we're going to take a 3-minute recess. I see 11:17. We'll see you at 11:20.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Dale, would you like to come up and give a speech about anything? Filibuster, yeah, that's funny. How long were you in Ireland for? Gotcha, very nice. Chief Whalen, do you have a good joke for us to fill the time? All right, we got three back for now. All right, we're going to get started again, Georgia, officially, and it is 11:22. So this is item number 23, computer equipment, peripherals, and related services. Good morning, Stephen.
Good morning, Commission. So this is for Dell and Hewlett-Packard. We buy most of our server desktops, about half of our laptops, and our storage through Dell. We buy our printers through Hewlett-Packard. We replace those. We put them on 5-year cycles for the most part. So we can replace them every 5 years, and we put money into a computer replacement plan. So this is fully funded. We already have the money to replace up to $900,000 worth of equipment this year based on the NASPO contract. So the NASPO gets us pretty much the best pricing we can get.
And is this a typical annual expenditure for us, about 900?
Roughly, it's some years are a little more. Last year was 1.2 million. Some years it's a little less. This is a pretty average.
And in regards to the computers that we're no longer possessing, what do we do with them?
So they go through a surplus process, disposition, and I think Miguel, oh, right there. So you guys auction them off? Is that the process?
Yes, we do send them off to auction.
Great. All right. Very good. Very good. So is there a motion to approve?
Move to renew.
Second.
Any discussion? Commissioner Sarah.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Sure.
Stephen, just want to reinforce so it's on the public record again, 1.2 mil is the request and ask, but you're anticipating it's going to be around 900,000.
Correct. It was, last year was 1.2. I missed that during the commission. What's that? It's been corrected. Okay. Yeah, I had missed it on the original paperwork because it was changed to 900,000 everywhere except for the title.
Right. I just wanted to be clear because it was presented today that way too. So the 900,000 is the requested amount for item number 23.
Correct.
Thanks.
Great. Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Next, Miguel, you're leading us with credit card processing services.
Yes, hi, good morning, everyone. I'm here to request to waive the procurement code to continue using Paymentus Corporation for the credit card processing service, to also amend the contract to accept Discover and American Express and to authorize the automatic 3-year renewals. Currently, Paymentus Corporation, they are a credit card processing service for water utilities. They were selected back in 2019. We waived the procurement code back then due to their cybersecurity requirements that meet the city requirements, as well as their ability to integrate with our ERP and softwares we have. And I believe it's the best interest for the city to continue utilizing Paymentus.
So Miguel, I have a question. I'm not sure if you're able to answer.
Sure.
If we didn't waive the procurement process, do you know or believe or estimate that there would be any credit card processing services locally, and I'm going to say in Broward, including Coral Springs, that might be able to meet our needs?
Stephen?
Looks like Stephen may want to take that question.
Yeah, so let me give you a little history on the reason why we selected Paymentus back in 2019. We were the victim, as many municipalities were, of a click-to-gov breach. So it was a software breach for our utility billing process, software. At the time, Central Square only supported 2 payment processors. Elevon, which used click-to-breach, or Paymentus, which had their own portal. We elected to go to Paymentus. Paymentus is a level 1 PCI certified, so they have the highest cybersecurity. We elected to go that route. Part of setting up that portal, though, it was about a 4-month process. There's a lot involved in it. That's why we picked Paymentus. We've since switched from Central Square to Tyler ERP software. Tyler also supported Paymentus, so we went with that. At this point, I don't think Tyler would allow us to go to anything other than Tyler Payments, which costs more. It strongly recommend against it.
Gotcha. Say no more. I'm good. Thank you. We'll entertain a motion, a request to waive, amend, and authorize.
Move to waive, amend, and authorize.
Second.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, carries unanimously. Thank you, Stephen and Miguel. Next item is item number 25, Resolution 2026-027.
Good morning, Commission. I'm really happy to report that the city has been allocated about $260,000 in grant funding to assist about 3 families with purchase assistance. The agreement before you is required because the county administers the program on behalf of the city. And that purchase assistance can be up to $80,000.
Great. Sounds wonderful. Entertain a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? How quickly will we be able to deliver this money to the 3 families?
The program is ongoing, and again, it's administered through the county. If anyone has any questions for or on the program, they can reach out to our department. Tracy Ann Anthony, our neighborhood and housing manager, does a fantastic job of overseeing our housing program, so she can connect someone to the best possible contact at the county.
Sounds good. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimously. Thank you, Tina. Next up is the Chief, Fire Equipment Supplies and Services. How are you?
I'm doing great. Welcome. Hi, everybody. This is a request to increase our current contract that we have with Lake County that we use for all of our fire equipment, whether that's hoses and things. Lake County, for some reason, it's a small county. They get a great contract. So we've been piggybacking with them for quite a long time. Our self-contained breathing apparatus, which you see on, if you've never been, I know most of you have through our Fire Ops 101, you've seen the equipment that our firefighters use. That expires after 10 years. Its a useful life is about 10 years. So we're at that point. Our logistics focus group that does all of our equipment chose to stay with the same company we have, which is Scott Air Equipment. So that we are just going into our replacement. We're actually saving about $17,000 by staying with them. So this request is just to increase the amount of contract for the cost of this SCBA's that we've already saved over the last 10 years. We have the money in our operating budget, but in order to have this use this Lake County contract, we have to increase it from the current $400,000 to the 1.35 million, which will be the cost of the SCBA's, which is only, it is expensive, $900,000. Again, 10-year life cycle. This is SCBA's for the entire department.
Wonderful. Sounds good. So request to approve. Would somebody like to move it?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all.
All right, thank you. Carries unanimously. Next is item number 27, appointment to the CIGC of Jennifer Pettigrew. It's a request to appoint.
I'm stepping in for Mike on this one.
All right.
Jennifer is a almost 40-year resident. She attends the meetings. You should have received her video, I believe, and Mike said she is a welcome member, if approved, to this group.
Sounds good. Somebody like to move her?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Always welcome an additional member to the CIGC, so I'm glad she's been around for a while. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimously. Next is item number 28, appointments to the Naming Rights Committee.
Yeah, these are just reappointments for members of the city staff and one reappointment for Alan Paley, represent the veterans on the Naming Rights Committee.
So we have several reappointments and one appointment under E. So these are all the appointments for the Naming Rights Committee. May I entertain a motion?
Move to reappoint and appoint.
Second.
Okay, and any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimously. Thank you, Rob. Next is an appointment to the Unsafe Structures Board of Thomas Serrano, the citizen with experience in social problem seat.
Good morning. This is the request to appoint Thomas Serrano to the Unsafe Structures Board, longtime resident, general contractor. His wife is a clinician for the city. He'd be a great addition to the team.
Would somebody like to move him in?
Move to appoint.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 All right, carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. And next is item 30, reappointments to the Charter School Advisory Board. Hello again, April.
Hello, good morning. This is a request to reappoint 3 of our Charter Advisory Board members, 1 in the educational seat, Raymond Lefevre, and then 2 to our business seat, that would be John Grimaldi and Shane Johnson. Great participants in our meetings. Very happy to have them back with us.
Wonderful. Would somebody like to move all the reappointments?
Move to appoint or reappoint.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? I just appreciate their service and appreciate your leadership.
Likewise, thank you.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Carries unanimously. And lastly, before Commission communications are reappointments to the Financial Advisory Committee.
Good morning, everyone.
Kim.
I'm standing in for Kim today. She's enjoying herself on vacation. This is a request to reappoint Beverly and Nicole to the Financial Advisory Committee. They're definitely valued members of the group. They offer great input and ask great questions during the meeting, so we look forward to continuing to have them.
Wonderful. Would somebody like to move them in?
Move to reappoint.
Second.
Any discussion? I've worked with both for a while, and they're both great contributors. I agree. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, carries unanimously. Who would like to go first for Commission communications?
I can.
Okay, Commissioner Simmons.
All right. So to my colleagues, and we've heard throughout this summer a lot about the sports fees and all of that. So where I am on that topic, and I've had this conversation with the city manager, is to the fees are paused for now anyway, because I think there's more stuff that want to be done. But what I would like to see is us restart this process. And when meetings are being held with the Sports Coalition and the sport leagues and leaders, and Commissioner Sarr, I know you sit there as well, I would like to be there for those conversations, because I think what has happened and what I've seen from the issue with the RFP, the soccer RFP, and now with this, there's a lot of he said, she said, and we're getting information from everywhere else. I would like to actually see what's going on and hearing what's being told. I also understand that there is some adversarial relationship between our Parks Department and the sports league directors, some of them, and I'm not saying that our Parks Department is doing that. All I'm saying is that there seems to be something happening where folks a part of these leagues or whoever it is are not being nice people to our parks employees, and apparently our league folks feel that the parks people aren't being good to them. So I just want to see for myself what's happening, what's being told, how things are being told, and because I understand that outside of everything else being extremely expensive, and there are a lot of things that we don't have control over for things being expensive. I have 3 very small children, so even eating out is very costly. I also understand there are a lot of parents that put their own money and finances into helping these leagues out or these teams out, or helping kids, that can't buy things for them and stuff like that. So they're putting their own money in as well, and that seeing this increase could be harmful to some folks. I also want to make sure that it's being communicated the reasons exactly why, and I know that they may have been, but I want to see them being communicated in terms of being to manage our facilities that are outdated, that are aging, and trying to stave off major repairs or even shutting down the gym for time or other areas for times. But I would like to kind of remove that off the table and restart this entire process over so that we can so that we can see firsthand what's being said and communicated and what's being said and communicated back, so that we aren't getting, secondhand information.
May I ask a question of the city attorney? So, JJ, Commissioner Simmons' request is that, if my understanding is correct, for the Sports Coalition meeting to be open to sunshine.
If there's more than one of you, we would advertise that be open, so I can work with the manager and this commission to see how best to accomplish that. Maybe it's just it's a workshop but this participatory workshop, which it's up to you to be able to do that. Because if everyone wants to be a part of it, then it's best to have it somewhere at City Hall.
Sure, yeah, because I think I would want to be a part of it. My guess is Commissioner McHugh would too. And I'm not going to take away any more comments from me now. Back over to you.
No, you're fine. And the goal is, Commissioner Sarah, not to overstep your toes. It's not for us to speak there or, it's just to be able to hear what is like actually happening. Because it's extremely frustrating to just not feel that I'm just like, I'm getting so many different parts of a picture, and I want to see it for myself at this point, because it just we keep having issues in this area, and I want to see some resolution. So I want to take that off the table right now and figure out what this looks like going forward, and as it goes forward, as we start to talk about why we need to raise it, even though we haven't raised them in 10 years, and any good business practice will tell you that after 10 years of not raising something, there's going to start being challenges. So something has to be done in the future in terms of that. But what does that look like? What's the amount? How it should look? And how it's being communicated? I think City Manager, you on pause?
Yes, so from my perspective, it can be just an open meeting that we will advertise. You all are more than welcome. The person running the meeting will continue to be Commissioner Sean Sarah, working with staff, and we will let you know any of the meetings that will happen, just so for your awareness. I can completely understand where you're coming from, because it is a number of after the facts kind of, well, this is this person's recollection, this is this person's recollection, and you're all and I can see that you're getting some emails. Overall, I want you to hear the good that's happening, and there's good that's happening at those meetings. So when you start to hear some of the one side, then I'm looking forward to you being able to say, this is where staff is trying to work together with the leagues, because we asked that question first, what can we do for you? And I do think that is not being spoken about right now. So I'm looking forward to having you being a part of it. I know Rob always is open-minded to having you be a part of it. So very well, we'll make sure that the next one, I know that they were working on a date. We are going to talk about some of the property taxes and what that could mean possibly for them, and have conversations around that. And at that point, I do think we were planning on coming back to having more conversation around the sports policy in January. So you'll hear some of that conversation now. We do need to have some sort of a resolution, because we're trying to help the leagues out, knowing that the background checks are upon them, and we only want to we don't want our residents to have that as a financial deterrent. We're trying to find a way to be able to help our leagues with that. So I think that's the next kind of point of conversation. So yeah, we'll advertise it.
To stay, to really not have these fees be projected as increased at this time?
Yes.
Okay, so JJ?
Yeah, so
could I entertain that as a motion?
I was just trying to, is that something that we're doing now, or is this going to be a change and have the manager, obviously you can make that motion.
Well, so let me tell you a little bit about what I'm thinking with what Commissioner Simmons has said and what we've heard. So there's this pressure, there's some negative information. Some of it's accurate, some of it I don't think is accurate. But there's this fear that young people now won't be able to afford their leagues anytime soon. So really my goal, and it sounds like it's your goal, is to make it clear to them in the next blank amount of time, there will be no fee increase. And it won't be until after this time that we would consider a fee increase. And I don't know what this time is.
So the fees are not supposed to go into effect like to the next, they go into effect the next season, which I believe.
For basketball. So for
starts in
basketball.
January, right?
Correct. So as you heard even the lady speak, that they are already collecting their registrations now with the fees as is, and they're just like we were trying to let them know, hey, this is what will happen potentially, this is what will happen in a year. There is no increase in that particular one. Our user fees that you accepted citywide will go into effect. But the one piece that you're hearing, that won't. So at this moment, I'm not asking, you can say otherwise, I'm not putting out that we do anything differently other than having conversations on a piece of a resolution to help them when it comes to the background checks, which doesn't come to you at that point. We're just trying to help them be able to find the money in what we have. So right now, I'm not asking to revisit the user fees until we have more conversations in January, because no fee increase will happen for basketball until then.
So my request at least would be that the Sports Coalition, if possible, could meet and have this open meeting well before January.
Agreed.
Okay.
But it's also, yes. Also, I think it's the amount. And so we have to start thinking about entertaining a smaller increase, almost like how back in 2018, when we had that very large millage rate increase, that then we decided that it was best to do incremental going forward. So even if that's something that we need to entertain to get us to where we need to get to, because even with the $50 increase, that still didn't even get us to cost recovery. We just need to have alternatives. We just need to have different alternatives and different things for people to take a look at, because ultimately we still have to run a business as a city, and not business in terms of just trying to get revenue in, but being able to take care of the facilities that we have, especially when they're dated in age and we can't get into a new one. That we are being smart, we're doing that. And I just need to see point A to point Z. I want to see it with my own eyes.
Yes, I will be encouraging both sides to be transparent in those conversations when it comes to fiscal. This is where this money is going to go. I need the partner to be transparent with me so that we then can understand what money is going where. Because at the end of the day, what we all care is that the residents are having transparent understanding of what where their money is going, where their registration dollars are, the fact that they are paying taxes, absolutely, but this piece is going to have to be able to help the facility. That is it, and that number is still very low, and it is in the market as very low. So as long as we come in with our books completely open, I would ask that of the partner so that we can have a clear understanding for our residents of this is what the cost is.
Yeah, and please understand, this isn't something for us just to take a look at staff. It's just to look at the entire situation, every single piece of this, because we often hear about what it is that the city's doing wrong or different things like that, but I have not seen too many folks actually let parents know, and as someone that has their child starting in a program, letting parents know everything that they're actually paying for as well. And so I just want to see this entire thing from beginning to end, because we just have so much going on in this arena. I want to be able to see what's being said, how things are being communicated, and hope that as we move forward through this, that everybody will see each other as a partner and not someone in an adversary position.
Sure, I'm with you 100%.
All right, so I actually want to get into my comments now. So we just came off our summer recess. My children are having a fantastic summer. And I just want to wish all of our educators, our teachers, instructional staff, non-instructional staff, administrators, families, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, people playing the role of the provider, and all of our students to have a great and successful start, beginning, middle, end to their school year. Every school year brings new optimism, new opportunities for improvement and growth and experiences, and I want every single person that is connected to the educational apparatus in our community to have a wonderful and successful school year. And I just want to say this too about, because when we talk a lot about Amendment 3, it often makes me think a lot about community, and it's something that I have the conversation with people all the time about. And coming out of our summer break, I spent a lot of time reflecting on who we are as a city and where we are going as a city. And we talk a lot about community and affordability, but true community isn't just about maintaining the status quo. A thriving community must be progressive, innovative, and forward-looking. We should want to be a city that dreams. We should want to be a city that inspires and aspires towards greatness. We should want to be a city where dreaming big and reaching higher isn't criticized or punished, but celebrated. Being part of a great community also means how we treat each other. It means having the courage to talk through our differences with mutual respect, to sit down and have real conversations and not just yell at each other. That is how we build a city we are genuinely proud to call home and how we ensure the city gets better every single day. We cannot afford to put our heads down in the sand. Ignoring progress or resisting necessary change doesn't preserve our community. It just prevents us from enjoying the comforts, amenities, and innovative experiences that a top-tier city should offer. We don't want to just be a place where people come home to sleep. We want to be a vibrant community where people actively want to live, play, and raise their families and make memories. And that requires work. That requires embracing smart, deliberate development. That means maintaining and elevating our parks and our green spaces. And that means upgrading and enhancing our public facilities. When you choose to live in a community, you make an implicit promise to look beyond your own individual self-interest for the collective good of the whole. That's what leadership is, and that's what community building is all about. So let's keep pushing forward, let's keep dreaming big, let's keep doing the hard work to make our city better today than it was yesterday. And the last thing I'll say, Mr. Mayor, we tabled the design drawing for the Sportsplex. I think a lot of people read the articles and things and thought that we were coming in and voting on $250 million to go out the door today. That wasn't the case. But what I will say is what I'll reiterate from our retreat or our workshop that we had when we discussed bringing this forward is that we still need to move the charter school. The charter school is not a part of the Sportsplex or any of that talking about that. We've been needing to move. And I've been very clear on the record about moving the charter school since 2018. That is something we need to make sure we are continuing to be focused on. I really want us to still focus on starting the park part out there at the Sportsplex, the recreational outdoor park area. I really would like for us to turn our attentions to that as well, getting that started, and maybe we can start building up what that area could look like instead of just talking about the Sportsplex from the beginning. I think if we can start, as you mentioned, showing people what's out there and what could be possible, then we can start building that thing together. And so that's where I'm at. I think we can still focus on the hotel piece because we've talked about that. That parcel we've talked about for years. Originally, there was supposed to be a Topgolf type thing out there, and then that went away. So I think the hotel piece is still needed there because, I don't care. I'm tired of the La Quintas. I want us to have a nice hotel in the city of Coral Springs. And so I would love for that to be the focus out there. The Everglades Loop has no bearing on the Sportsplex, and neither are those. Those are still separate, and I know we're still working hard on that. So there are still things that we should be doing to uplift this city and things that our residents can enjoy. That it's really for our enjoyment. It is for us to go out and enjoy that time with our families. And with that, my comments are complete, Mr. Mayor. Sorry I took a lot of time, y'all.
No worries, no worries. We'll go to Commissioner Sarah next.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I'm going to get into my comments around the fees and start there. I'm in support and welcome you guys to the Sports Coalition. I do want to say that Catherine made a phenomenal comment with regards to the fiscal transparency. This commission gave staff direction to look into this and improve not only the Parks and Rec, but the processes and systems. They're doing their job. Some things that were discovered were right on point from a historical standpoint over decades. But there have been times where money has gone missing, money has not been spent in the best interest of kids, and if we're ultimately responsible as a city for everything that happens on our properties, there needed to be a revisit with regards to how that proceeds forward. I'm in favor of a reset, even though we've been working on this for years. Some of the conversations have been transparent and forthcoming. And when I say that, that's on not only the city side, but also on the league side. I think there's been a little bit of drama. No, I'm not even going to say a little bit. There's been a lot of drama out in the community with us against you. And I don't think that's fair. It's not. So if we want to reset, we'll reset. But the only way I'm going to agree to resetting is that we're not getting into past conversations, past drama, past anything. If the adults need to come to the table for the kids. And every decision that needs to be made with, once again, the golden word today, transparency. If they want us to be responsible for the dollars that we're taking to maintain and enhance our facilities, then we should also, whether they're a nonprofit or a profit, be very clear to every penny that's being spent, that's being brought in. And if we get to that outcome, I think we'll be better. With regards to the background checks, I was a little taken back by that one because we've been working proactively to improve that system. In the past, the coaches had to go as far as Deerfield or even Hollywood to get approved and pay. We've not only worked with internal staff, but we've identified partners where we could even do it in the city of Coral Springs at a reduced rate. So, like, sometimes people come up and they're passionate about what they're saying, and I get it, but at least come up with facts. Like, what was presented today, out of fairness to this commission and to staff, was not accurate. So what we're reading and we're hearing is one thing. As far as the fees are concerned, some of these dollars that we're asking for and then the fees are going up, we didn't set the fees for these organized clubs, they did. So they just didn't want to lose the dollars that they're bringing in. And I think we need to be transparent with that. It can't be that the city's raising the fees. If the fees go up, that's not our decision. There just is accountability as to what their fair share should be. And if it's not fair share and it's not agreed upon, then this will play out in what you're requesting. And the last thing I want to say is the historical perspective of what we've been charging. This needs to be discussed because for many years we were charging the bare minimum and didn't even change what we were charging. Now we went from grass to artificial turfs. I walked on the fields out at youth soccer. Yes, the grass was gone because we were on it nonstop. But you can't expect us as a city to take us to a level that no other city is at and not put the dollars on someone. So if we're going to have these dollars brought in, then they need to be managed as we have been managed and is suggested to be managed. But also, there needs to be an understanding on the league side, that's the recognized league leadership, that they need to be telling the full story. And if we need to control the narrative better, then we will. So I appreciate the request. I don't think anyone on staff or on this commission has anything to hide or run away from. But the resistance to change, I don't. Mr. Fogel was in here, there is a little bit of resistance to change with this.
Sure.
And it's on our part, but it's also on the end user, which is the people that are managing and supporting and volunteering for these clubs. So I'll end with that. But I think we are going to need a workshop or a retreat or some type of open conversation where we can get into how we're feeling and thinking and make sure that the Parks and Rec and then ultimately the community is involved. All right. Just real quick, 4th of July, for all the staff that were involved in these, because I don't want to talk about all of them individually, but great 4th of July. The fireworks at the end were the best ever. Thank goodness.
Tell Mike he made up for it.
Yes. Even though he wasn't. He was in Venezuela, though, wasn't he? Yeah. Well, he missed it. But it was a great display, and it was... there were a lot of people out there. I think that's the most people I've seen at a 4th of July
Oh, yeah.
Since I've been on the commission. Just to the Coral Springs History Team and the bus tour, really enjoyed that. Safety Town and everyone that's involved. I echoed the students and the faculty and staffs going back, wishing you the very best year. You guys crushed performance and academic success this past year. And the last is welcoming in the new business and Ember and Vine. Congratulations to Eddie, Christina, and their family. The ribbon cutting was awesome, and this is a new space off of Coral Ridge Drive on the north side of Sawgrass. If you need me, I'm at CS Commissioner 2 or at 954-612-7194. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Commissioner McHugh.
I'll listen to you, Mayor. I'll keep my comments to 2 minutes, though. I got your back.
I'll give you an extra 28 seconds.
All right, thank you. As the new school year begins, I want to wish all our teachers, students, and school staff a fun, memorable, and safe school year. To everyone traveling on the roadways, please be extra cautious in and around school zones. Slow down, stay alert, and watch for children, crossing guard school buses, and increased pedestrian traffic. Big reminder for parents, and I know this is the police department's biggest pet peeve. It is illegal to drop your child off or pick them up in a roadway. Please use designated drop-off and pickup areas to help keep our students safe. In addition, we will see an increase in e-bikes on the roadways and sidewalks. Parents, please know the state law and the city ordinance pertaining to e-bikes. Any student that rides an e-bike to or from school, please wear a protective helmet. As I mentioned during my commission briefing, I want to thank our staff for their prompt responses to the emails that are forwarded to them. I know that we, as commissioners, receive a large number of emails, and at times I'm sure it could be overwhelming. However, our residents are truly appreciative that they are receiving timely responses and knowing that their concerns are being addressed.
I agree, for sure.
I would also like to thank Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins for taking time out of his busy schedule to visit our public safety building, and the personnel that are first responders, and personally thanking our first responders for their dedicated service to our community. His visit and recognition of our men and women who put themselves in harm's way each and every day to protect our residents was greatly appreciated. I'm done, Mayor.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much. Good job. I was only a minute and 28 seconds, so very good. So I've got a few things. First, I just want to thank all the 7 people that went to Venezuela, and thank everyone that makes that happen, including our leaders here, but also I want to thank the family members that support their spouse or their dad to do something like that. I mean, quite a relief effort and really a great story to save that one individual. As I listened to each speaker today, I heard them from 2 places. I heard them from a place of coming from community and wanting community and supporting the community. And I heard a few also come from a place of fear. And to some extent, lack of full knowledge. And what I would urge everybody in our community as we're moving forward, these changing times, right? Because we all have some resistance to change, but typically change is because of growth. Typically change is because of something that's necessary. For us, we've listened to you about several issues that you've raised to us. I hope you've heard and feel like we've listened to you respectfully. And I would just urge us all, as we're coming together in this sports collaboration and in this collaboration with you all in the community, that we're looking to work with you. And I'd like you to extend the trust that everybody on this dais wants to work with you and not against you. And I'd like you to keep in mind that often the press gets press or makes press because they want to pit you against us. So I just ask you to keep that in mind. Sometimes the press prefers to create news instead of report news. I've been on and off this commission, mostly on since 2002.
I've worked with 5 city managers over that time, and I can tell you we are the most transparent ever, the most collaborative ever over these 24 years that I've been familiar with the city. And if you have questions, all 4 of us on the dais, you have our numbers, you have our emails, and it's not bad that you come here and speak at a public meeting. It's good. Also, share with us directly. Sometimes you have with me, Denise, and I appreciate it. My number is 954-494-9872. Again, it's 954-494-9872. You can call me, text me. As always, the best way to preserve your comment and potentially have us move on it is by email. My email is sbrook@coralsprings.gov, and typically for all of us, it's the first letter, last name @coralsprings.gov. So you have jsimmons@coralsprings.gov, ssarah@coralsprings.gov, etc. A couple of other things. I did an IT workday recently. Thank you, Stephen, for making that happen. And it was just great. I learned a lot. I got to attempt to work with George on delivering a laptop, and there were some issues. And one of the things I got from George, I believe George is 22. He started with us as an intern, as a lot of our IT people have. Let me tell you, as he was navigating and having these challenges, he couldn't have been more patient, he couldn't have been more professional, and he couldn't have been more persistent. Fantastic. And you know what I got out of that is I am less fearful about my own technological challenges. So I'm very happy about that. And I'm looking forward to my next workday. Can't read my handwriting there. Oh, summer and teachers. So I hope everybody had a great summer. I hope you're ready for a school year if you got school kids or if you're a teacher. And if you're a teacher, I just want to say thank you. I think you are just the most awesome professional, often underpaid, sometimes undervalued, and there's no way our schools and our city could be as great as it is without you as a teacher. I want to acknowledge everybody on this dais. What we do is not easy, but I think you all operate from a great place of hard professionalism. You're prepared, and I just want to say thank you to everybody I work with on the dais for your hard work and your dedication to our community. It really is a pleasure to work with each of you, so thank you. Ember and Vine, they had a great opening. Gosh, they had both state representatives there, several commissioners. It is Eddie Pizzuoli and his wife, Christina's 7th restaurant that they've opened. So one of the things I think that we are really wonderful for and with are the entrepreneurs in our community. And I'm glad that they've wanted to grow here, and they have. And let me tell you, Ember and Vine, it's about 5960 Coral Ridge Drive. My wife and I went there on their opening night, and it was a great dinner, great service, really outstanding restaurant, and very unique atmosphere. So congratulations, Eddie and Christina. And congratulations to your dad, who has this wonderful legacy. And it was so cute at the ribbon cutting, their son, Eddie, who's maybe 9 years old, he gave a little speech before the ribbon cutting. He couldn't have been more adorable, and that's so great to be a part of. Let's see, anything else? That's plenty. Just, reiterate, and I believe, too, from our point of view, we love doing what we do. We love serving you. And if you're thinking that, well, maybe our interests are not aligned with you, I just ask you, come see me. Come see me. And I have office hours. We all have office hours. You don't have to stand on ceremony. Just call me. I'm your mayor, and I can tell you my colleagues, they feel and operate the same way. They come from a good place. They want great things for our city, and there's no way we can dedicate the time that we do without the love that we have for the community. And with that, I'm complete. On to you, City Manager.
Thank you, Commission. Thank you, Mayor. And at this point, before I get started to talk about some of the exciting things that we have going forward, I would like our chief to come up. Thank you. We've received a number of, speaking of listening to our residents and hearing some of the conversation around flock cameras, wanted our chief to be able to speak with that. Thank you very much for being here and also having a flock representative here. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, City Manager, for having me. And again, thank you for allowing me, giving me the opportunity to talk. I know you guys have received a lot of emails from the public. We've seen what's on the media outlets. We've seen what's on social media. And I just want to take an opportunity to quickly explain what we do with this system. And then, of course, Mr. Jalen Johnson, I want to thank him for being here as a representative of Flock. So when I'm done, he can come up and be happy to answer any questions. So what do we use it for? It's an investigative tool to help identify vehicles that are tied to crimes. The license plate camera only captures a still picture of the license plate and a brief description of the vehicle, the rear of the vehicle. It's a still picture. That is all that is, and it's a database that is searchable, and we use it in two ways. Well, first of all, it does not capture any identifying marks of the drivers, the passengers. We do not know how many passengers in there, who's driving, the race, the sex. We don't have any of that information. There is no facial recognition involved with this technology. And at the same time, it does not have any Bluetooth capabilities. That was an individual talked about. It doesn't have Bluetooth to capture people's phones and get into their phones. And we know the rights attached to a phone. The thought that that is even happening is troublesome because it can't. Phones are protected. We know that. We usually have in two ways. Real-time alerting, which is the main purpose. Real-time alerting, what it does is it alerts us when the vehicles come in here that are associated with amber alerts, silver alerts, missing, endangered, runaways, anything that we have that's currently in the system that is tied to a crime, a stolen vehicle. Yes, we want to know if that comes into our city. We have a lot of examples of successes, and not to prolong this, but it wasn't long ago Plantation had a murder suspect that tried to hide in our city. It was because of Flock, that vehicle hitting, that we knew we were here and we were able to find him. We don't want him hiding in our city. The other side is it's used retroactively to search, reference when we have the report of a crime. We don't just randomly go in and search tags. We don't randomly go in and search anything. It has to be attached to a crime. Access is only for law enforcement purpose only, which is the same as all databases that we use. It is no different. And I know that we've seen reports out there of officers, around the country, unfortunately misusing for personal gain. They should be held accountable, 100%. And that is no different than any system we use in law enforcement. We treat it the exact same way, and our policies reflect that. There's one login and a password that's specific to each user, and it is all trackable. Every time someone goes in there, it is trackable, the time stamped, and also, in order to do a search, you must put the reason for the search. It must be tied to a criminal investigation, crime, or something of major event like a missing endangered person. That note must be in the system. So I'll end with this because I know for time. My foremost responsibility is to protect life and maintain and enforce state and local laws. That is my main responsibility. I take that responsibility seriously. I'm entrusted to take reasonable, lawful actions to enhance public safety within the city of Coral Springs. I take that very serious. And preserving life, preventing crime, and solving crime are among the highest of my priorities. Flock cameras, this system, while it is not an end-all be-all, it is not probable cause, it is a major player in us to make our community safer. It is a major reason we have a lower crime rate. It is a major reason why we are solving more crimes. And personally, it's why I live here. I trust it. I trust how we use it. I have faith in our policies, and I'm open. And I just wanted to take that opportunity to express that. With that, Mr. Johnson, if you'd like to come up, again, representative from Flock, any questions you would like to answer.
Mayor, go ahead. I'm gonna be leaving. I have a list of questions. I'm gonna give them to Commissioner Sarah. He doesn't have to ask them, but I'm gonna give them to him, take a look, and if he wants to ask any of them, it's mainly around data, mainly around tracking, heat map, search capabilities, as well as national access to the information that we get from in our city in terms of other agencies using that or being able to use our information or what we, I guess, pick up from our LPRs. I do want to say that I support the intent behind why we have our LPRs. It is to keep our city safe. It is to make sure we can solve crimes. It is to make sure that we keep our people as safe and as whole as possible. And I would never advocate to do anything to infringe on that. But I do have a lot of concerns around the data and the access to the data. So I'm going to just give these questions to Commissioner Sarah. We have not talked about them beforehand. We are also not voting on anything, but just in case. But I do have to run. I was very much looking forward to this. What I may ask for is a workshop in the future to just take a look at any best practices or any ways that we can tighten up what we do or how we use the system or how the system's used in a way to just make sure that we are tighter in control of this technology or the data, or any way that we can at least let residents know that we are on top of using this technology, but also making sure that we are protecting our people as well from Big Brother is watching. So
Mayor,
Yes, JJ.
would you prefer, Commissioner, that you give the questions to the flock representative, and if he can then put it in writing, then you'll have all the answers? Okay, nope, okay.
Not that I don't trust you. I just don't.
All right.
Quite quickly, please.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Jalen Johnson, Public Affairs Officer at Flock Safety. Thank you all for having me here. Glad to answer questions. If I don't know the answer, I'll say that, and I'll be more than happy to get that to you all in writing. I'm not a cybersecurity expert. I'm not a lawyer, and so I won't have the answer to everything, but I'll try my best to get some visibility into some of those questions.
Sounds good. I'll start with Commissioner McHugh, and then I'll go to Commissioner Sarah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm in favor of Flock being a former law enforcement officer, and I have utmost confidence in our chief over here to hold our officers accountable if it is being misused. To be honest, I don't have any questions for it all because I'm very familiar with the system, and I'm glad the city of Coral Springs actually has that system.
Thank you, sir. And I'm glad you mentioned misuse because that's a big topic right now in the country. And I think that our technology works as designed. If there's a person in the system acting in bad faith, they are caught, they are fired, and they are charged. And so the system works as designed.
Yep, absolutely. That's all I have, sir.
Commissioner Sarah.
Okay. I'll start with question number 1. He has 8. And Chief Mock, you might want to, come to the podium.
Actually, I'm going to ask Chief to say seating, just so the questions can go straight to the flock representative.
Okay, I just don't know if he can answer all these questions, because I think they're somewhat city-related, but, all right. What explicit automated technical blocks prevent an officer from running a plate for personal reasons in real time?
That's a highly technical question. Chief, you want to try to answer kind of the process of...
You want to go to that? Yeah. There you go. That way y'all can do.
Yeah.
So the question is, what's in place to stop someone from doing it in real time? And the answer is, when it comes to the technology, it's just like all the technology we use, nothing is in place right now because there's no way to monitor what is happening all the time. It's always got to be on the back end to monitor. So what is in there, and there's certain alerts that go into the system, is we do a random audit. There are triggers that we would look for, just like any other system that we use, to see if there was a misuse, to delve into what this use was for, what was the tag run for. And again, there has to be notes in there that can lead us down for a verification process of what was actually being done.
Okay. Does your automated AI auditing tool flag suspicious search spikes automatically, or does our city staff have to manually review thousands of logs to catch potential abuse?
Great question. Yeah, we rolled out the proactive auditing tool, so it definitely flags those like anomalies automatically.
All right, does it, and what I guess what's my follow-up question to that would be, what's the process if it doesn't? Then it goes to a human?
Yeah, so the administrator still has the ability, with or without the proactive auditing, to go in there and do an audit. He can do it weekly, daily. I don't recommend this, but if the administrator wanted to do an audit daily, hourly, weekly, they could do so.
Okay. Question number 3, in other city council meetings, Flock representatives stated that the system could not create heat maps or track an individual vehicle's movement pattern over time, a claim that turned out to be untrue. Can you give us direct yes or no? Can this system generate a pattern of life or location history map for a specific resident?
Absolutely not. The license plate reader cameras are cameras that take a point-in-time image of the back of a vehicle and a public government document from a public roadway. Over 44 courts have been uniformed that license plate readers cannot and do not track the whole movements of a person, so that is false.
So Commissioner Sarah, unfortunately, I've got to leave by 12:22. I have a 12:30 I can't miss.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask that those questions be forwarded to them and the answers be forwarded to us. And we can make those answers known to the public.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Anything else on your end?
No, I don't.
Okay, perfect. Back over to you, City Manager.
Well, thank you very
both
much.
for being here. Great
Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you. And truly, at this point, I'll wrap up by saying we have a lot of really great opportunities for our public. We're going into that time of the year that budgets will be presented, and I absolutely encourage our public to be available and come and see the opportunities that we have with our budget team regarding our 2027 budget. We have Budget and Brews. We have that available on our website Thursday, August 14th. At 9 a.m. at the Senior Center at Satori, Sunday, August 17th at 10 a.m. Mitch's Bagel downtown, because we support local business. And we do have a virtual session on Tuesday, August 19th at noon. So some of those dates, just go check our website. We have those dates there. Please go and check that out. We also have a Vision in Motion, which is where we come back to you as the community and tell you the great things that we've been doing on Tuesday, August 19th at 6 p.m. here in Chambers. We also will be talking about we will be hosting a public forum on property taxes here in Chambers on Tuesday, August 26th. Looking forward to hearing you. Please listen to us, and we can continue to engage and have very thoughtful conversations. Again, check out those dates on our events on our website, coralsprings.gov/events. Want to congratulate our police department on another wonderful and community involvement group on their summer youth program. Yes, it's fantastic. 10 years of doing it, and here we go going into the school year. Please be safe. Looking forward to another fantastic year with schools, and hats off to the principals, the teachers, the educators here in Coral Springs. Y'all are doing such a great job. Wonderful to have so many A-rated schools in our city, and truly, thank you all so much. Thank you.
Wonderful. Quick over to Commissioner Sarah and then our city attorney.
Yeah, so just for clarification, the commission hires the city manager and the city attorney, and I forgot to make this in my comments. The city manager and the city attorney manage their staff. Everyone reports to them. We make recommendations and suggestions on strategic planning initiatives, and then staff's job is to go out and execute it. The one thing I did not mention when we were talking is, if we're going to reset and we're going to pause, then everyone needs to be in a collaborative, positive mindset. I've heard about secret society meetings about city staff. I've heard attacks on city staff. And city staff is just doing what this commission gave direction for. So this is not about one individual or one collective department. This is about the city of Coral Springs. So take the attention away from Parks and Rec and put it on this commission, put it on this city leadership team, and then you and the audience or people that are listening that are impacted by this and leading our great programs need to come to the table and do your part to not create drama and not want to move this forward in a positive way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. City Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one item, and that is on the order signed by Judge David Frank, which did find the language for Amendment 3, the homestead, to be improper and misleading. It's an interesting order. It's 18 pages. He talked about the title being more akin to a political slogan.
Oh, wow.
He said it was rhetoric designed to elicit an emotional response and is improper. This is the order he signed.
Wow.
it said the ballot summary concludes by declaring that the proposed amendment is ensuring fairness for Florida residents. This is a direct quote, when in fact the proposed amendment would discriminate against Florida residents who rent their homes, single-family or multifamily, by providing tax relief only to owners of homestead property, thereby increasing the burdens on renters who will likely pay more than their landlords when their landlords pass on the increased property taxes resulting from the higher millage rates. He then had 2 pages in bold of all the language that must be removed or changed, and then the order finds that it is clearly and conclusively defective. So what does that mean? They have, the state has 10 days, they can appeal it, but if they don't appeal it, he's giving them 10 days to provide the language, in which case then there is the 3 entities that sued, they can still go ahead and object to that at that time. The deadline is the week of August 24th. It must be ready or it's not going to make the ballot, because 10 weeks prior to the referendum, it must be advertised in all the counties in the state. Interesting order.
It is.
Interesting position, and I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, if you can email that to me, I'd like to take a look.
I sure will. I'll email it to all of you.
Thank you. Well, thank you, everyone. Thanks for staying late. Have a wonderful day.